What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another Naruto Blazing Stories. What if Naruto son of Tsunade and Orochimaru Part 2? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box for original creator of this beautiful creation. Today was the day for the Chunin exams to take place. So Naruto was now gathered in the arena ready to take the Chunin exam. Hello everyone, today is the day of the Chunin exams. You will be fighting in a tournament. Those who win their fight move on in the tournament will move on to their next match. The Hokage will be watching the matches and will decide who will become Chunin, the proctor explained. Shikaku vs Akira. Up first is Shikaku Nara vs Akira Uchiha. Loud cheers can be heard from the crowd. Fire style. Fireball just you. Akira aimed and fireball at Shikaku. Shikaku quickly moves out of the way of the fireball. Shikaku then uses his shadow possession jutsu and possessed Akira. Akira then uses her strength to try back free from the shadow possession jutsu. But Akira was unable to break through. The winner is Shikaku Nara. Naruto vs Choza. Next match, Naruto Senju vs Choza, the proctor said. Naruto started up the match using wind style great breakthrough. He created a huge gust of wind. Choza used his expansion jutsu and turned his body into a ball and used the wind gust to increase his speed and charge toward Naruto. Naruto created a wood dome to block Choza's attack. But the wood dome wasn't strong enough. Naruto then went flying into the wall. Naruto got back up and used lightning-style snake lightning. Choza then collapsed onto the floor. The winner is Naruto Senju, the proctor said. After his match was over, Naruto went back to his spot to wait for his next match to start. While waiting, he watched the other matches go on until it was time for his next match. After a couple of matches, it finally his turn for his next match. Naruto vs Kiko. Kiko Uchiha started off the match using the fireball just you. Naruto countered it with his water-style mount of the serpent jutsu. The just you then collide with each other and create a huge amount of stream. Naruto next used the wood pillar sky kick. Naruto then charged at Kiko and kicked her several times before he turned his left arm into wood. Kiko's body then turned into a log. Kiko then trapped Naruto in a genjutsu. Naruto tried to break free from the genjutsu, but it was a really strong one. While he was trying to break free, Kiko used lightning-style thunderbolt jutsu. She then threw her hand in the air and created a bolt of lightning. Naruto finally broke in time to avoid the just you. Kiko's next move was the fire-style phoenix flower just you. Naruto then used the wood-style wood dome jutsu to block the just you. Striking shadow snake. Snakes then came out of Naruto's sleeves. Suddenly Kiko vanished before Naruto could even hit her. Kiko then used striking shadow snake to grab Naruto's legs. She used my jutsu. How did she do that? Wait, her Sharingan, does it have 3 tomos? Naruto thought. Also, when she vanished, her Sharingan looked different. Naruto muttered, thinking of what to do next. Kiko then used the snakes to hold Naruto's legs and sent him flying into the wall. The winner is Kiko. Naruto then got up to go back to his spot in the arena. He decided to sit down while waiting for the exam to be over. After a few more matches, the exam was finally over. Now that all for the Chunin exams. Everyone who entered the exam come back here in a week to see if you made Chunin or not, the proctor said. A week later. It was a week later, so all the contestants that entered the exam were heading to the arena. Now that everyone here, the Hokage will announce all that became Chunin. Okay, I will now say the name of those who became Chunin, the Hokage said. Number 1 is Naruto Senju for his powerful will to not give up, the proctor started. Number 2 is Shikaku Nara for being a great strategist. Number 3 Kiko Uchiha for winning the whole tournament, which isn't an easy thing to do. Number 4 Choza Akamichi for a great display of strength. Number 5 Inoichi Yamanaka for a great show of determination, he continued. For those of you who didn't become Chunin, there will always be next time to become one. Orochimaru then came up to Naruto and congratulated him. Congratulations son, you're now a Chunin like me. I'm proud of you. Now you can get your own students and one day become ANBU like you dream of becoming one day, Orochimaru said. Yeah, I might wait a couple of years before I decide to join ANBU. I probably join when you or Minato become homage, Naruto stated. Naruto then turned to look at Kiko. Still curious about why her eyes looked different when she vanished. You're staring at Kiko, go ask her out already, Orochimaru said, chuckling at his son's behavior. I'm staring at her because I'm confused about why her eyes seemed different during our match last week, Naruto said. What do you mean by that, son? Orochimaru asked. Her Sharingan was shaped oddly and she vanished without using any hand signs, Naruto explained. Oh, it was most likely the Mangekyo Sharingan, Orochimaru stated. What the Mangekyo Sharingan? Naruto asked. I explain more about it at home, come let's go, Orochimaru said. Right, let's go then, Oto-san, Naruto said, walking away with Orochimaru. Senju house. So what is the Mangekyo Sharingan, Oto-san? Naruto asked. It is a different kind of version of Sharingan that says an Uchiha develops after killing their best friend. Which is not true, it can be developed by watching someone they care about die, Orochimaru explained. I see, so who did she die if she doesn't have anyone close to her since she an orphan? Naruto asked. Well, I heard recently that one of her teammates was keyed on a mission by a Rouge from the Hidden Mist village, Orochimaru explained. I see, so that probably how she got it then, Naruto stated. Yes, most likely the reason she has it, Orochimaru said. Why did she vanish in thin air without using hand signs then? Naruto asked. Well, the Mangekyo Sharingan is said to give Uchiha unique powers. In her case, she make herself vanish in thin air using just her eyes, Orochimaru explained. That is very interesting. I think I will go on a date with her tomorrow. Minato and Kushina recommended doing a double date, Naruto said. Though I might just go a date with just the two of us. Well, I hope you have fun. I will be going to see Sarutobi sensei tomorrow. He thinking of giving me another team of genin maybe in the next 2 years, Orochimaru explained. We'll have fun with another team to train in possibly 2 years, Naruto said. I'm going to go to sleep now. Have a good night, son, Orochimaru said. Good night, Oto-san, Naruto said. Kiko house. Naruto arrived at Kiko's house and knocked on the door. Coming, a voice said from behind the door. Then the door was opened. Hi, Naruto, what are doing here? Kiko asked, wondering why Naruto was here. Hi Kiko, I came over to ask you something, Naruto explained. What did you want to ask me, Naruto? Kiko asked. Will you go out with me on a date with me and be my girlfriend? Naruto asked. Yes, I would love to go out on a date with you and of course, I will be your girlfriend, Kiko said with a smile. Okay then, let's go to eat your cow ramen and get some ramen to eat, Naruto said. What time do you want to go on out to eat? Kiko asked. How about we go in out to eat now, Naruto said. Sounds great, actually I'm kind of getting hungry, Kiko stated. Eat your cow ramen. I see you got a beautiful girl with you today, Naruto, Tuchi said. Yes I do, Tuchi, she is my new girlfriend Kiko Uchiha, Naruto stated. You grow, Kiko Uchiha, haven't seen you since you were a kid. Your mom and dad used to bring you here a lot, Tuchi said. What can I get you two to eat today? Tuchi asked. I have a bowl of miso ramen please, Naruto said. 1 bowl of veggie ramen for me sir, Kiko said. Oh, I will be right back with your ramen soon, Tuchi said. Here you go, 1 bowl of miso ramen for you and veggie ramen for you, Tuchi said. Thanks, sir, both Kiko and Naruto said. So Kiko and Naruto both ate their ramen. After we're done eating, well, don't we for a walk, Naruto said. That sounds great to me, Kiko said. After 30 minutes of eating, Kiko and Naruto went for a walk. While walking, the two of them decided to talk and get to know each other better. Kiko, what do you plan to do now that you're a Chunin? Naruto asked. I probably apply to become a sensei at the academy since that is my dream, Kiko explained. That sounds wonderful, I hope you get the job, Naruto said. What do you plan to do, Naruto? Kiko asked. I probably teach a team of genin then apply for ANBU. I want to get strong before joining ANBU, Naruto explained. They continued talking but decided to continue this conversation at the park while looking at the stars. The stars are really beautiful tonight, don't you agree, Naruto? Kiko asked, looking over at Naruto. Yes, they are very beautiful tonight, Naruto said. Why do you want to teach academy kids? Naruto asked. I want to teach because it seems fun. I also believe that I will do better at teaching academy kids than I would with a team of genin, Kiko explained. I think you would be a great sensei no matter who you teach, academy kids or genin, Naruto said. Thanks, that very sweet of you to say, Kiko said. Well, it getting late, so let's end this day and both of us go home. See you late, Naruto said. So the two of them went their separate ways and headed home for the night. Naruto was walking around the village when he suddenly heard what sounded like someone training. "Hey, kid, what are you doing out here so early in the morning?" Naruto asked. "I'm out here early to do some training," the kid said. "You are wearing an Uchiha symbol on your shirt, so I take it you're an Uchiha then," Naruto stated. "Yes, the name is Obito Uchiha," Obito said. "I see. Won't your parents be upset that their 9-year-old kid is out here by himself?" Naruto asked. "I don't have any parents, they're dead, but I live with my grandmother," Obito said. "I see, but wouldn't your grandmother be worried? Also, what are you even training for, kid?" Naruto asked. "For the academy so I can graduate and become Hokage 1 so people will acknowledge me one day," Obito stated. "Also, my grandmother probably still asleep so she most likely hasn't noticed I was gone. He is so much like my Oto-san and Kushina. They both want to become Hokage so people will respect them. Minato just wants to become Hokage to protect the village and the people, but those two wanted to be respected and not treated as an outsider and a monster because of how cold my Oto-san can be sometimes because he doesn't open up to a lot of people, but he been getting better at it a lot." Naruto thought, smiling. "You remind me of my Oto-san and my female teammate," Naruto said. "What do you mean, sir?" Obito asked. "My Oto-san and my female teammate both dreamed to become Hokage one day so they would be acknowledged. When they were younger, but now they have at least one person who acknowledged," Naruto explained. "My Oto-san has my mother who acknowledged him and my female teammate has her boyfriend. I also acknowledged both of them, but even so, they dream for everyone to acknowledge them." "Well, I need to get going, sir, before I'm late for class at the academy. Bye, sir," Obito said. "That is an interesting kid, maybe he be one of my genin in the future. I totally wouldn't mind having him on my team in the future, but he also would make a great student for Oto-san. They have the same dream." Naruto thought, watching Obito walking away in the direction of the academy. "Hey, Oto-san, do you know where Okazen is?" Naruto asked. "Yeah, she upstairs in our bedroom now. If you excuse me, I will be in my private library if you need me," Orochimaru started. "Okay, thanks, Oto-san, but before you go, have you ever heard of a kid named Obito Uchiha?" Naruto asked. "Yes, he would always come to bother me at the ramen shop asking me to help him with training. Believe his father was one of my old ANBU partners," Orochimaru replied. "Wow, Oto-san worked with a lot of kids' parents in the ANBU." Naruto thought. "I see, was asking because I ran into him this morning while out for a walk," Naruto explained. "I see, well, he a nice boy, maybe you have him as one of your genin," Orochimaru stated. "He will make a great student. Maybe I will just have to wait and see. Well, I'm going to go look for Okazen. See you later, Oto-san," Naruto said. With Tsunade. "Good afternoon, Naruto. Is there something you need, son?" Tsunade asked, watching Naruto walk inside the bedroom. "Yeah, I was wondering if you could teach me medical jutsu," Naruto explained. "Yeah, but why do you want to learn medical jutsu all of a sudden?" Tsunade asked. "Well, since I will become a sensei of genin, then eventually join the ANBU. I figure it might be a good idea for me to know how to heal them just in case I need to," Naruto explained. "I see, well then I will teach you medical jutsu. Come with me, we will practice in your Oto-san study," Tsunade stated. Orochimaru's study. "I want you to try healing this fish that laying on the table," Tsunade explained. So Naruto then started working on healing the fish, which wasn't going so far. "The important thing you need for medical jutsu is good chakra, so if you want the medical jutsu to work, control your chakra," Tsunade explained. "I understand, Okazen. I think I can heal the fish correctly now," Naruto said. After giving it another try, the fish started to flop a little bit. "Nice job, Naruto. That enough training for today. We continue training more tomorrow," Tsunade said. "Morning, Naruto," Tsunade greeted. "Yeah, morning, Okazen. Where Oto-san?" Naruto responded. "He just left to meet up with the Hokage to see who his team of genin will be this year," Tsunade replied. "How is your sage mode coming along, Naruto?" Tsunade asked. "It coming along fine, but still haven't perfected it yet like Oto-san has," Naruto stated. "Well, you get the hang of it eventually. But you better go and meet up with your students," Tsunade said. "Yeah, see you later, Okazen," Naruto replied. So he headed to the Hokage office to see who would be on his team. Once he arrived at the Hokage office, he knocked on the door. "Come in," a voice from behind the door said. "Good day, Lord Third. Came to see who my students are," Naruto said. "You will have Kakashi Hitaki, Obito Uchiha, and Rin Nohara." You will be leading the team with Minato Namikaze, the Hokage said. Why am I acting as a ko-sensei? Naruto asked. It because of Obito Uchiha, the Hokage started. Kiko Uchiha, his academy teacher, recommended I have you training him along with Minato because she thinks you will be a great sensei for him, the Hokage explained. I see well I go meet but this the only team I train after they become Chunin and don't need me anymore plan on joining the ANBU, Naruto stated. I understand you have the skills to become ANBU so I put you in the ANBU once the team doesn't need you anymore, the Hokage said. Well, I go meet up with them now, Naruto said walking over towards the exit. So Naruto read the paper that told him where to meet up at with his genin. Academy rooftop. Well, looks like I'm early. Minato and the genin aren't here yet. Naruto thought. Hey, it has been a while since we see each other, Naruto, Minato said while walking over to sit down next to him. Yeah, been busy doing lots of training and hanging out with Kiko. We plan on getting married soon, Naruto stated. Nice. Me and Kushina plan on getting married sometime this year, Minato said. Well, looks like the kids are here now, Minato said as they saw the kids arrive at the meeting place. Okay. Now that you're all here, let's get to know each other. I go first. My name is Minato Namikaze and I will be your sensei. My likes are my friends, my future wife, and toads. I dislike people who abandoned their friends and stuck people. My dream is to become Hokage one day, Minato said. Then Minato looked at Naruto telling him it was now his turn. My name is Naruto Senju and I'm your other sensei. My likes are my family, my girlfriend, snakes, and my friends. My dislikes are bullies, show-offs, and hot dogs. My dream is to one day join the ANBU, Naruto said. Now it's your guys' turn. The girl can go first, Naruto said pointing at the girl with brown hair. My name is Rin Nohara. My likes are my friends, Lady Tsunade, and drawing. My dislikes are bullies and friends fighting with each other. My dream is to become a great medical ninja, Rin said. Now, how about you with the silver hair, Minato said. My name is Kakashi Hitaki. My likes and dislikes don't matter to you. Shinobi don't have dreams, they just do their job, Kakashi said. That kid is way too serious and a real jerk, Naruto thought. Now you turn boy with brown hair, Naruto said. Well, you already know me, Naruto sensei, but my name is Obito Uchiha. My likes are training, my best friend Rin. My dislikes are jerks like Kakashi, people laughing at me. My dream is to become Hokage one day so people will acknowledge me. Obito said. Okay, tomorrow meet at training ground 3 at 7 a.m. We will be doing a survival exercise, Minato explained. What kind of exercise? Obito asked. You will have to wait until tomorrow to find out, Naruto said. So Naruto headed back home. He and Orochimaru talked about their team of genin for the rest of the day. Morning, Oto-san, Naruto greeted walking into the kitchen. Morning, Naruto, here your breakfast, Orochimaru said heading Naruto a plate. Thanks, Oto-san, Naruto said taking the plate. What test are you giving your genin today? Naruto asked taking a seat across from Orochimaru at the table. I'm going to have them do the same test I gave you, Orochimaru replied. I see, well, hopefully they pass. See you later, Naruto said putting his plate in the sink then walking out of the kitchen to leave the house to meet up with his team. Bye Naruto, have a good day, Orochimaru said. Bye, Naruto said. So Naruto headed to training ground 3. I see that you are already here, Kakashi, you're 10 minutes early just like me, Naruto said. A shinobi should always be on time or early, Kakashi replied. This kid is way too serious, Naruto thought. 10 minutes later Rin showed up. Good morning Rin, only ones not here are Minato and Obito, Naruto stated. Morning Naruto sensei, Rin greeted smiling at Naruto. So the three of them waited for Minato and Obito. Sorry for being late, Kushina wouldn't let me leave until she was positive I had everything, Minato said. Don't blame your girlfriend for your bad sense of timing, Naruto shouted. Oh, calm down Naruto please, you're just as scary as your mom and Kushina, Minato said. Where is Obito? He is almost an hour late, Kakashi stated. I'm here, Obito yelled while run over to the team. Your late, a shinobi should never be late, Kakashi explained. Oh, come on, I was helping an old lady carry her bags, Obito said. Don't you go making excuses like Minato for being late, and be on time next time, Naruto shouted. Don't mind Naruto, he just like his dad and hates waiting and has his mom temper, Minato explained. And it wasn't an excuse, my girlfriend truly is the reason I'm late. Naruto rolled his eyes, not bothering to listen to any more of Minato's excuse. Minato then grabbed 2 bells out of his pocket. "You had to get these bells from me," Minato said. "While I try to keep you all from getting anywhere near him," Naruto said. "But there are only 2 bells, sensei," Obito said. "Yeah, which means one of you will fail and will be sent back to the academy," Naruto explained. "You can't send us back to the academy, we passed the graduation exam," Obito shouted. "I can and will if you fail the test. You have until noon to get a bell," Naruto said. "Now begin," Naruto and Minato both said. "Fire style. Fireball." Obito then shot a fireball at Minato. "Water style. Mount of the Serpent." Naruto then created a huge water mount to put out the fire. Minato then threw a shuriken at Obito. "You're done, Obito," Minato said. "What that sound?" Naruto asked. "Above us, Naruto," Minato said. "A tree log, I see someone set a trap." Then Obito threw a smoke bomb. "That was not bad but not good enough," Minato said. Naruto then started sensing for the hiding spot. "They're over there, an attack should be coming your way," Naruto said. "Obito there at 2 o'clock, Rin said. "Got it, fire style. Fireball, just you." Obito shot a fireball at Minato. "Wow, that was close, Gald, you sensed it before it could hit me," Minato said, jumping out of the way. "Not bad, you two, you almost had me there," Minato said. "But sensei, how did you get away from the attack?" Rin asked. "Look over there, what is Naruto-sensei doing with his eyes closed?" Obito asked. "I believe that he is sensing our location," Rin said. "Sensei, today the day I will defeat you," Kakashi said while charging at Minato with his sword. "I don't think so, you have to get through me first, Kakashi," Naruto said, blocking Kakashi's sword with his. "You were hiding for a long time, that your strategy for defeating us?" Naruto asked. "No, I wouldn't have been able to get the bell while having to watch over these two," Kakashi said. "So he was waiting for me and Minato to defeat Rin and Obito before he decided to attack us," Naruto thought. Kakashi then threw a paper bomb at Minato and Naruto. The two of them dodged the paper bomb. "That was close, he almost had us there, Naruto," Minato said. "True, he did, but looks like he still doesn't understand teamwork," Naruto stated. "Heads up, he coming," Minato yelled. Kakashi came charging at Minato and almost got the bells. "Not bad, Kakashi, but not good enough to beat us," Naruto said, kicking Kakashi. "I'm not finished yet," Kakashi said while powering up lightning in his hand after getting back on his feet. "Like Naruto said, you can't beat us," Minato said, sneaking up on Kakashi. "That it, the test is over," Naruto said as Minato grabbed Kakashi. "So do we fail then since we didn't get the bell?" Obito asked. "You passed but barely, Rin and Obito, you worked great as a team, but you, Kakashi, acted alone. The point of the test was to teach you teamwork," Minato said. "Kakashi, you didn't work with your team for real, you waited for us to finish them and head them, weakening the both of us before you attack," Naruto stated. "Since you three worked really hard to try and get the bells, you pass," Minato said. "You three are now genin, tomorrow will be your first mission," Naruto said. So Naruto and Minato both went their separate ways home. Naruto was going to meet up with his team of genin at Training Ground 3. So they can go on their first mission today. "Good afternoon, Rin and Kakashi," Naruto greeted as he arrives at the training ground. "Good afternoon, Naruto-sensei," Rin said. "You got to be kidding me, Obito and Minato aren't here yet?" Naruto shouted. "I'm sure they will be here soon, Naruto-sensei," Rin stated. "So irresponsible, a shinobi be on time," Kakashi said. "Sorry, I'm late, was helping Orochimaru-sensei with something," Minato stated. "Oh, don't go bringing my Oto-san into your excuse, but be glad you're only 15 minutes late," Naruto stated. "Oh, come on, you don't need to stress yourself out with your wedding coming up soon," Minato said. "I wouldn't be stressed out if you and Obito would be on time," Naruto said. After an hour and 15 minutes of waiting, Obito finally showed up. "Sorry, I'm late, I was helping an old lady cross the street," Obito said. "I don't want to hear your excuse, let's just start the mission for today," Naruto said angrily. "What is our mission, Naruto-sensei?" Obito asked. "We are going to help clean up trash at the zoo, at a D-rank mission," Naruto replied. "Oh come on, we're shinobi, we should be doing harder mission," Obito exclaimed. "A shinobi doesn't complain about a mission. A shinobi does the mission no matter the rank," Kakashi stated. "Oh shut up, no asked you, Kakashi," Obito said. "Both of you please don't start fighting, we're supposed to be a team," Rin said. Enough Obito, you just became genin, so you will be doing nothing but D-rank mission, Minato explained. So Minato, Naruto, and Team 7 headed to the zoo to help clean up the trash. Obito spent most of the time complaining about how boring the mission was the whole time. Okay, looks like everything is finally clean, so you all can go home. Also, there won't be a mission tomorrow, so you're free to do whatever you want, Minato said. How come there no mission tomorrow, sensei? Rin asked. Naruto here is having his wedding tomorrow and I'm his best man, so I won't be here either tomorrow, Minato explained. Oh, congratulations Naruto sensei, Rin said. Thanks, Rin, I see you guys the day after tomorrow, Naruto said before walking away. Wait, who are you marrying, Naruto sensei? Obito asked. Naruto then stopped walking and turned around. Her name is Kiko Uchiha, Naruto said. You're marrying Kiko sensei from the academy. Obito exclaimed. Yeah, she the lucky lady, see you all later, bye, Naruto said. I'm going to pick up my ring for her, he said walking off. It was not only March 19th but also the first day of spring. Today was also Naruto Senju and Kiko Uchiha's wedding day. Most of the villagers came to the wedding. Naruto was with Orochimaru getting his wedding kimono. The kimono he was putting on was a very bright blue color. Are you nervous, son? Orochimaru asked. Just a little. What if Kiko decides she doesn't want to marry me? Naruto said. Oh, don't worry, she loves you. If she didn't, she wouldn't have dated you for as long as she did, Naruto, Orochimaru stated. You're right, Oto-san, Naruto said. Now let's tie up your hair and you will be all ready to go out there and get married, Orochimaru said. Once his hair was tied up, Naruto walked up to the aisle to wait for Kiko to walk down the aisle. The wedding aisle was surrounded by cherry blossom trees. The sky was sunny and clear. Kiko then started walking down the aisle wearing a beautiful long light blue kimono. Her hair was braided into one long blue braid. Everyone was cheering when they saw her walking down the aisle. Bawako Sarutobi was in the front playing the piano. Once Kiko arrived at the aisle, Naruto held out his hand to help her up. Do you, Kiko Uchiha, take Naruto Senju as your husband? Jiraiya asked. Yes, I do, Kiko said. Do you, Naruto Senju, take Kiko Uchiha as your wife? Jiraiya asked. Yes, I do, Naruto said. I announce you now husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride, Jiraiya said. Naruto and Kiko then started kissing. Congratulations Naruto on your marriage, Minato said. Thanks, Minato, for the congratulations and for being my best man, Naruto said. No problem, pal. So you two moving into Kiko Place Uchiha district or staying with your parents? Minato asked. I'm moving in with Kiko, getting too old to live with my parents, Naruto said. Sounds great. Me and Kushina live together now. Which you already know since she stopped living with you guys, Minato said. Yeah, well, see you later, Minato, Naruto said. Yeah, bye, see for tomorrow mission, Minato said. Congratulations son on getting married, Tsunade said. Thanks Okazen, Naruto said. Yeah, congratulations my son, Orochimaru said. Thanks Oto-san, Naruto said. Also welcome to the family Kiko, you grow into a beautiful woman, Orochimaru said. Thanks Lord Orochimaru, I'm galled to be in your family, Kiko said. Call me Oto-san and Tsunade Okazen, we're family now. Have fun living together now. Don't forget to come visit, Orochimaru said. We will make sure to visit every now and then, Kiko and Naruto both said. In the land of hot springs, Kiko and Naruto were both in their hotel room sleeping. Kiko was the first one to wake up. Morning, are you awake yet, Naruto? Kiko asked. I'm awake now, Naruto responded. Well, at 9:30 a.m. so you want to go get breakfast or room services? Kiko asked. We can go downstairs to get breakfast, Naruto said. Okay, well, let's get going, we can come back to shower later, Kiko said. So Naruto and Kiko headed downstairs to the lobby to get breakfast. Once they got downstairs to the lobby, they went and grabbed some food from the buffet. So what do you want to do today? Naruto asked. Why don't we go for a walk and then head to the hot springs? Kiko said. Sounds great, I be upstairs getting ready since I'm done eating, Naruto said. Okay, I be upstairs as soon as I'm finished eating, Kiko said. No need for you to rush, take your time, Naruto said. So Naruto headed upstairs to their room to get ready. After 15 minutes of him getting ready, Kiko walked into the room. I be ready in a few minutes, Naruto, Kiko said. Okay, I just be sitting on the bed waiting for you to be ready, Naruto said. Okay, I'm ready, we can go now, Kiko said. Okay, where do you want to walk to first? Naruto asked. It doesn't matter to me, anywhere is fine. Kiko replied. So Kiko and Naruto decided to walk over to the dango shop. To get some dango. How can I help you two today? The waitress asked. I will like 8 dango for the both of us, please. Kiko said. Okay, 8 dango coming right up. The waitress said. After a few minutes the waitress came back with 2 plates of 8 dango. Thanks for the food. Naruto and Kiko both said. You're welcome, enjoy the food. The waitress said. So the two of them ate their dangos. Once they were done eating, they decided to head to the hot springs. They decided to spend an hour in the mixing bathing hot springs. Then head back to TTHE hotel room and call it a day. Today was really fun. I see why Orochimaru and Tsunade recommend us coming here for our honeymoon. Kiko said. I agree. Wonder how Minato is doing with the genin. Naruto said. He probably doing fine. You two going to enter them in the Chunin exams this year? Kiko asked. I think so, but Obito probably won't make Chunin. He not very smart and his battle skills need work. Naruto explained. Well, they're always next year if he doesn't become Chunin this year. Kiko stated. True, well, we see what happens when the time comes. Naruto said. True, well, good night, I'm going to bed. Kiko said. Okay, good night. Naruto said. Naruto was at his and Kiko house waiting for Obito to show up. After an hour of waiting, Obito finally showed up. So why did you want to see me, Naruto-sensei? Obito asked. I wanted to talk to you about Kakashi. Naruto stated. Flashback. Sensei, it not fair. Why is that jerk Kakashi already a Chunin? While I had to take the Chunin exams twice to become a Chunin. Obito exclaimed. I know, but Kakashi is stronger than you. I know he can be jerk, but he has a very good reason for acting like that. Minato explained. Enough, Obito, come to my place later this afternoon. Naruto said. Leave everything up to me, Minato, I will talk to him about it. Naruto said after Obito left. Okay, I will leave everything to you then, Naruto. Minato replied. Flashback over. What about that jerk? Obito asked. I know that Kakashi can be a jerk and obsessed with the shinobi rules. He only that because his father knows the White Fang. He abandoned the mission to save his comrades because of that. People were mad at him and blame him for starting a war. That he took his own life. Naruto explained. Obito just stared at Naruto, completely shocked from hearing that. You may not understand how he feels to be the son of someone they consider a traitor for the choice he made. Please just try to understand what he going through. Naruto stated. What I think the White Fang is a true hero because those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. My parents would still be alive if their comrades choose to save them instead of just caring about the mission. Obito said. I understand, Obito, but not everyone in the village feels that way. That's why the White Fang took his life. That Aslo why Kakashi is the way he is. Naruto explained. That why when I become Hokage I will make people realize that those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. Obito stated. I think you will grow up, become a fantastic Hokage one day. You can go ahead and go home. I see you for tomorrow mission. Naruto said. Okay, bye Naruto-sensei, you tomorrow. Good afternoon, Kiko, how was work? Naruto asked. It was good, Naruto. Kiko said. Glad to hear that, Kiko. Naruto said. Why is Obito outside in the training area in the back of the house? Kiko asked. I think his Sharingan is coming in, so I was trying to see if he could get it to activate. Naruto explained. Let me get something to eat and then I take a look at his eyes. Kiko said. Okay, his eyes may be useful for the upcoming mission. Naruto said. Have you heard where your next mission will take place yet? Kiko asked. I should find out soon from Minato. He with the Hokage right now. I believe it will be Kanabi Bridge. Naruto said. Kanabi Bridge, I see, well, hopefully this war will end soon. Kiko said. Yeah, hopefully there won't be a war going on when we have kids. Naruto said. When we decided to have children I hope they will be kind-hearted and have a strong will not to give up like Obito. Kiko stated. That sounds nice, maybe Obito could be his future sensei. Naruto said. Well, I will be out back with Obito. Kiko said. Okay, hopefully his eyes come in soon, they be very helpful for this mission. I just have a feeling he going to need them. Naruto stated. Are you worried he might not make it back from this next mission? Kiko asked. Just a little, he still needs a lot of work on his jutsu and he a reckless knucklehead. Naruto replied. That true, I will do my best to see if I can get his Sharingan to fully come in, Kiko said. So Kiko went to training area that was at the back of their house. Good afternoon, Obito, Kiko said. Good afternoon, Kiko-sensei, Obito said. Naruto told me that your Sharingan was starting to come in, Kiko said. Yeah, my eyesight be getting blurry a lot, Obito explained. Let me take a look in at your eyes, Obito, Kiko said. So Kiko put her hand on Obito's face and looked at his eyes. Yeah, it definitely looks like your Sharingan may be coming in. I can feel the charka building up in your eyes, Kiko stated. Really, Kiko-sensei? How'd I get them to turn on? Obito asked. You need to build up charka in your eyes and control it, Kiko explained. I understand, sensei, Obito said. So Obito worked on building up the charka into his eyes. You're doing good, just give it a few more tries, Kiko said. After a couple more minutes of trying, Kiko decided that it was a good idea to call it a day. That enough, you're very close to activating your Sharingan. Just continue working on building up your chakra every day and your Sharingan should eventually come in, Kiko stated. I will practice every day, thanks for training with me, Kiko-sensei, Obito said while heading back home. How did it go, Kiko? Naruto asked. It went fine, he didn't activate his Sharingan but he is super close, Kiko explained. I see, well, at least he making progress. The team heading out the night after tomorrow to Kanabi Bridge, Naruto said. I understand, make sure to careful out there, Kiko said. I will make sure to come back alive, Naruto said. Today Team 7 are heading to Kanabi Bridge at dusk. Okay, is everyone ready to go? Minato and Naruto asked. Yes, Team 7 shouted. Kushina, see you soon, Minato said. Alright, be careful and do your best, and you, Obito, Kushina replied. What? Obito asked. You're clumsy and you're hasty, and you're a blundering fool too. And add knucklehead to the list. So be doubly careful out there. Because if you come back injured you'll get more than my fist. Got that? Kushina said. Obito then smiled at Kushina. Who do you think I am anyway? Obito asked. I'm gonna become Hokage Lord Obito Uchiha, Obito exclaimed. Please, there's nothing to worry about. I'll make the mission a success. And then come back with everyone without a scratch. That's a promise, Obito said. You better keep that promise, Kushina shouted. Then Kushina and Obito start laughing. Well, we better get going. See you and get back and tell Kiko I love her since she was still asleep when I left, Naruto said. Of course I tell her for you, Naruto, be careful, Kushina said. So Minato, Naruto, and Team 7 left and started heading out. After 2 hours of walking, Minato and Naruto decided that it was a good idea to take a break. Okay, I think we rest enough, we should get going, Minato said. Yeah right, we sure get moving. Wait a second, where's Obito? Naruto said. He went to the bathroom, sensei, Rin replied. I guess we will just have to wait for him to show up, Naruto said. Sorry for taking so long, Obito said once he finally came back. How are you always late? Kakashi asked. Who made you the boss? Obito exclaimed. Ninja have rules. A good ninja sticks to the rules and does everything from the book, Kakashi stated. Rules, doing things from the book. That's all you talk about. Don't you know any compassion? Obito said. A ninja that breaks the rules sullies their name. You can at least understand that, right? Kakashi said. Okay, you two don't fight, we're on the same team, remember? Rin said. Rin, you're too soft on Obito. Today a very important day for us, Kakashi said. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's right, Rin said. Huh, what going on? Obito asked. Let's talk about it on the way to our destination, Minato said. Yeah, come on, let's go and no more fighting, Naruto said. So they continue walking to their destination. As of today, Kakashi is a Chunin like me and Naruto, Minato explained. We'll split into 2 teams led by myself and Kakashi for a better chance for success, Minato stated. Wait, why is Kakashi get to be able to be a Chunin? I know he passed the exam but he's still young, Obito asked. We're suffering from the lack of manpower, remember? Naruto said. Actually, Obito, we talked about giving Kakashi a gift, remember? Rin asked. I gave a medkit and Minato and Naruto sensei gave him their gift already, Rin said. I gave him a custom kunai knife like the one I carry, Minato said. I gave him custom-made sword, Naruto said. What about you, Obito? Rin asked. Sorry, I forgot, Obito said. I wasn't expecting anything from you anyway. It probably would have just been a piece of junk. Kakashi said. Hey! Obito shouted. Come on, don't fight. Rin said. Now let me run through the mission. Minato said. You're all aware that the Land of Earth has launched an invasion against the village hidden in the grass? Minato asked. Yes, they're coming fast. It's only a matter of time before they cross into the Land of Fire. Rin said. That's why we must stop them soon as possible. Naruto said. As such, our mission time is to infiltrate enemy territory and destroy the Kanabi Bridge, which is part-2 their supply route. Minato explained. So we're going to cut off the enemy support network. Kakashi said. What about you, sensei? Obito asked. I'm going to tackle head-on and act as a diversion for you. Minato stated. What about you, Naruto sensei? Obito asked. I be right behind you three. I step in if it gets out of hand. Don't worry, I protect you three with my life. Naruto stated. For today, Kakashi your leader, but like Naruto said, he will step in if things get out of hand. Minato said. We stick together until we hit the border, but after that your unit is on its own. Minato said. Got it. Everyone shouted while putting their hand on top of each other. So they all headed to the border. Then they suddenly felt an enemy nearby. It feels like there are 20 of them, but they could be using shadow clone jutsu. Minato stated. Cover me, I'm going in. Kakashi said. Knit so fast, Kakashi, you should act as backup. Naruto said. What about what you both said, sensei? I'm the leader today. Kakashi said. That means I call the shot, doesn't it? That the rule. Kakashi said. Follow. Kakashi led. Minato and Naruto both said. Right. Both Rin and Obito said. Kakashi then charged at the enemy with his lightning blade jutsu. Then the rest of the team went and backed him up. Wait, that blonde guy and the guy with the long black hair in the pointy tail. One of the enemy clones said. Can it be the Yellow Flash, and also Prince Naruto, the son of the Slug Princess and the Snake Lord? The enemy said. Minato attacked the enemies with his Rasengan. Naruto took the enemies with his striking Shadow Snake Jutsu. After a while of fighting, the enemy was finally defeated. Rin worked on healing Kakashi once the fight was over. Are you okay, Kakashi? Rin asked while healing Kakashi. Good, no sign of reinforcements. Minato said. Kakashi is really worn out, let's retreat for and then regroup. Naruto said. I'm fine, I'm fine. Kakashi said. Fine, you don't look fine to me. That what you get for ignoring sensei and doing whatever you like. Obito exclaimed. That's some talk coming from a ninja who is too scared to be of any help. Kakashi said. I wasn't scared. Obito said. It was just a tummy ache, I be fine the next time. Obito said. That all that comes out your mouth, excuses. Kakashi said. Enough already. Minato shouted. It okay to admit that you're scared after this is just some play fight at a war. Naruto said. You're going have to work as a team if you want to compete this mission. Minato said. Right now you're pulling into opposite directions. Minato said. Yes, Kakashi rules and the ninja code ain't important, but they aren't everything. Minato stated. It like I taught you, sometimes you have to bend the rules. Minato said. Minato right, sometimes bending the rules is very important. Naruto said. Also Obito, you still haven't fully prepared yourself to be a ninja. Your spurt is still weak. That why you get scared when you actually fight the other. Naruto stated. Yes, I understand, Naruto sensei. Obito said. I have complete faith in you all through. I know you can complete this mission on your own. Minato said. But you can't act like a team. You fail or worse die. Which is why Naruto will step in if it gets to that point. Minato stated. Before I go, the most important thing a ninja must master is teamwork. Got I? Minato asked. See you later, Minato, good luck. I will keep them safe. Naruto said. I know you will, Naruto, so I'm not worried since they will be with you. Minato said. Moving into enemy made extremely tense. I know you're all probably nervous about fighting in these war, but relax, I won't let anything happen to No. Naruto said. Yes, sensei, I still don't get why you're not leading if you're going to be traveling with us. Obito said. Me and Minato already explained that to you, Obito. Use your ears next time we explain something. Naruto said. Naruto then sensed an enemy nearby. Looks like we got company, you three. Naruto said. Yeah, I can sense them, Naruto sensei. Kakashi said. Then a hidden stone ninja charging at Kakashi. Kakashi countered the attack with his sword. Ah! Rin yelled. When everyone turned around, Thri saw a hidden stone ninja holding Rin. Rin, Obito exclaimed. She coming with us? The hidden stone ninja said. Hey, what did you do to her? Obito asked. Naruto was just in the back watching to see if he needed to step in. Don't worry, she just asleep, we be able to get a lot of information from her. The stone ninja replied. Let her go, Obito said. Then the hidden stone ninja took off with Rin. Come on Kakashi, we have to go after. Obito said. Kakashi just stood there not saying anything. Obito just kept repeating Kakashi name trying to get him to respond. The two of us will have to carry out the mission ourselves. Kakashi said. Kakashi, do you know what you're saying? Obito said. Yes I do. Kakashi replied. But what about Rin? Obito asked. We worry about Rin later. They want to know our plan so they won't kill her straight away. Kakashi said. We should be more worried about them learning our tactics. Kakashi stated. To a ninja his mission is everything that the ninja code. Kakashi explained. The ninja code? There's something more important than that stupid ninja code. Obito exclaimed. Naruto thought, this is getting kind of out of hand, maybe I should step in now. Okay, that enough, we won't accomplish anything if you both keep fighting. Naruto shouted. I understand sensei, but tell him we can't abandon Rin, she one of our comrades and a priceless friend. Obito said. She always healed us with her medical jutsu. She always supported us no matter how many times we fight. Obito stated. Obito, I understand how you feel, but Kakashi the leader. Naruto said. So you're okay with this? You said will protect us with your life, but you're going to let him abandon Rin? Obito asked. No, I will have a shadow clone stay with you while the real me saves Rin. Naruto explained, then he walked away after leaving a shadow clone. There's no point discussing this with you, we never see eye to eye. Obito said. You don't understand what happens when people break the code. Kakashi said. So maybe those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. I believe that the White Fang was a true hero. Obito stated. I'm to help Rin along with the real Naruto sensei. Obito said. Obito, calm down and get over here. Clone Naruto said. Obito ignored the clone of Naruto and continue on walking. Rin, I'm coming, hang on. Obito said. If you want to save me too, have to get past us. The stone shinobi said. So Obito and the hidden stone ninja fought with each other. Obito was being attacked until Kakashi blocked the incoming attack with his sword. Kakashi, what are you doing here? Obito. Well, I can't leave saving Rin up to a knucklehead like you. Kakashi said. He pretty tough for a kid, I think I better join you. The Oath Stone Shinobi said. Follow my lead. Kakashi said. So Kakashi and Obito fought with the enemy. A stone shinobi snuck up on Obito. Obito, look out. Kakashi shouted and ran into the attack to protect Obito. Ah! Kakashi shouted after getting his arm cut by the sword. Kakashi! Obito yelled. Kakashi, are you okay? Naruto said. Sensei, Kakashi hurt also. Are you the real one or the shadow clone? Obito asked. It the real me, I came as soon as my clone let me know you ran off on your own. Naruto explained. Kakashi UI. Obito said. I'm not dead yet, just stay focused, Obito. Kakashi said. Kakashi, come here, I heal your eye. Obito, stay on the lookout, the enemies are nearby. Naruto said. Right, understand sensei. Obito said. So Naruto worked on healing Kakashi. Obito then turned around and took out a kunai and stabbed the enemy. How did you see me? The stone shinobi asked. Naruto thought. Obito, he finally activate his Sharingan. Obito, you awaken your Sharingan. Kakashi said. I'm going to protect my friends. Obito said. After a while of fight they made it to Rin location. Looks like she been put into a genjutsu. Kakashi said. I believe that you're correct, Kakashi. Naruto said. Release. Naruto said. Rin then woke up. Kakashi, Obito, and Sensei. Rin said. We're here to save you, Rin, you're safe now. Obito said. You may have freed the hostages, but don't think that you get away. Stone Shinobi said. Earth-style rockbreaker. The stone shinobi then made the rocks above start falling. We need to get out of here now. Naruto said. They all started running to the exit of the cave. Kakashi then fell because he couldn't see. Kakashi, look out. Obito exclaimed. Obito then pushed Kakashi out the way of the falling rocks. Wood-style wood dome. Naruto then tried to shield Obito from the rocks with the wood dome he created. Naruto thought, the wood dome not can't withstand the huge rocks falling onto it. At this rate Obito is dead. The wood dome then cracked and Obito was smashed by the rocks. Is everyone okay? Obito asked. Obito! Rin and Kakashi shouted. Kakashi then went over the rocks and tried to lift them off of Obito. It no use Kakashi, my left side is completely crushed. I can't feel it anymore. Obito said. Oh Obito, I'm sorry I wasn't able to keep you safe like I said I would. Naruto said. It fine sensei, you try to protect me the best you could. Obito said. If I listened to you when who said we should go save Rin, none of this would have happened. Some leader I'm a horrible Jouin. Kakashi said. Oh yeah, that right Kakashi, I'm the only who didn't give you a gift for making Chunin. No matter what every else thinks, you're a great Jouin. Here, take my Sharingan. Obito said. I'm going to die now, just promise Kakashi that you will protect Rin. Obito said. Rin, come on, let's go. Kakashi said. Looks like reinforcements are here. Naruto said. Earth-style earthquake slam. The ground then starts shaking. Wood-style world of trees wall. Naruto then created a wall of trees to shield Rin and Kakashi. Naruto thought. Where Minato when you need him? Can't keep using my charka since I haven't completely mastered wood style, it drains my charka. Then suddenly Minato shows up to the rescue and takes down the enemies. Is everyone okay? Minato asked. Yeah, we're fine thanks to you. Naruto said, exhausted. We're Obito? Minato. He dead. Rin said. He dead, I see. Minato said sadly. I wasn't able to protect him like I said I would. Naruto said. We should go. Naruto is completely drained from using his wood style. Minato said. Yes sensei. Kakashi and Rin both said. Today almost everyone in the village was at Obito funeral. Naruto was just standing next to Kiko, feeling completely depressed. Oh Kiko, I'm a horrible sensei, I couldn't keep my promise to protect Obito. Naruto said. It not your fault, Obito gave up his life to protect Kakashi. You try your best to keep the rocks from falling. Kiko said. I would have been able to save him if only I mastered my wood style, just you. Naruto said. Naruto turned around and saw a kid talking to his Oto-san. Who that boy talking to my Oto-san? Naruto asked. Kiko turned to see what boy Naruto was talking about. Oh, that boy name is Itachi Uchiha. Kiko replied. Wondered what the two of them were talking about before Oto-san left. Naruto said. Who knows, well guess me can go home unless you want to stay a little longer at the funeral. Kiko said. No, come on, let's just go home, I don't want to stay here at this depressing funeral anymore. Naruto said. So Kiko and Naruto went back home after spending 30 minutes at the funeral. Naruto was at his parents' house taking care of his Oto-san. Good morning Oto-san, Naruto said while walking into the bedroom. Morning Naruto, so Tsunade made you come over while she was away healing the badly injured shinobi who been fighting in the war at the hospital, Orochimaru said. Yeah, she said you badly hurt your arm while fighting on the battlefield in the war, Naruto explained. Yeah, it got injured while protecting one of mine students named Anko, Orochimaru said. I see, well looks like I will have to help you eat since you can't use the hand you used to eat with, Naruto said. Yeah, guess so. What for breakfast? Orochimaru asked. I made your favorite, a sausage, egg, and cheese omelet. Naruto replied. Oh, that is definitely my favorite breakfast food, Orochimaru said happily. Yeah, I know that why I made it for you. Naruto said. Also, how you doing after Obito death? Orochimaru asked. I'm doing okay, feel bad I couldn't save him but I get over it. Naruto said. Glad to hear you're feeling okay. Orochimaru said. Hopefully Minato and the two students that are still alive on the team are doing okay on their mission. Naruto said while helping Orochimaru eat his food. I'm sure they're doing okay and thanks for helping me eat. Orochimaru said. No problem, and you're right, they probably are doing okay on their mission. Naruto said. I'm going to take a shower. Orochimaru said. Okay, I'll be right here if you need anything. Naruto said. While Orochimaru was showering, Naruto was sitting in a chair next to the bed reading a book. Naruto thought, Minato should be back from his mission today along with Kakashi and Rin. Hopefully they're all doing okay. After 20 minutes Orochimaru walked out of the bathroom with a towel around his waist. Do you need help getting dressed or can you handle that in your own? Naruto asked. No, I should be fine getting dressed on my own. Orochimaru said. Then suddenly there was a knock at the door. Were you expecting anyone to come over, Oto-san? Naruto asked. No, I wasn't. It probably Minato, since he should be back from his mission now. Orochimaru said. Yeah, you're right, I did tell him I wouldn't be going with him today since I was taking care of you. Naruto said. I go get the door, you continue getting dress. Naruto said. Okay, I be right down as soon as I'm dressed. Orochimaru replied. So Naruto headed downstairs to go see who was knocking at the door. Coming, Naruto said while walking downstairs. Once he opened the door he saw it was Minato. Hello Minato, come on in. Naruto said. There's something I need to talk to you about, Naruto. Minato said. Hi Minato, it'd been a while since I seen you. Orochimaru said while walking downstairs. Yeah, it has. Orochimaru sensei, how your arm doing? Minato said. My arm is fine, still hurts a lot but I be fine. Orochimaru. Glad to hear. Well, there's something really important I need to tell you. Minato said. What is it Minato? Naruto asked. Well, Rin was kidnapped by hidden mist shinobi. While Kakashi was trying to protect her from the shinobi, she ran into the way of his Chidori. So she is dead. Minato explained. I see, so Kakashi the only one left now. Naruto said. Yeah, he is going to give him some time to himself before going to see how he doing. Minato said. I will check on him once Okazen gets home to take care of Oto-san. Naruto said. I'm sorry Naruto, if I wasn't injured you could have been there to protect your student. Orochimaru said. Would it not your fault I choose to stay with you? I could have said no, but I wanted to help take care of two while Okazen was busy healing the shinobi who are fighting on the front lines. Naruto said. He right Orochimaru sensei, it not your fault or anybody's fault. Rin choose to give up her life because the hidden mist shinobi sealed the three tails in her. Minato stated. I see, so that why they kidnapped her to use her as a weapon. Orochimaru said. Yeah, I guess so. Well, I'm going to head home now. Minato said. See you later. Both Orochimaru and Naruto said. I'm sorry that two of your students died. At least you didn't get all of your students killed like I did. Orochimaru stated. Really, I didn't know that you lost your students. Naruto said. Yeah, that picture hanging on the fridge was my first team of genin, they're all dead. Orochimaru said. I see, isn't one of them in the picture my uncle? Naruto asked. Yeah, the boy in the middle with the brown hair. Who has my hand on top of his head massing with his hair? Orochimaru said. What was his name? Naruto asked. It was Nawaki Senju, his dream was to become Hokage. Orochimaru said. Wow, he wanted to become Hokage just like you Oto-san, that's very cool. Naruto said. Yeah, I think he would have made a great Hokage if he was still alive. Orochimaru said. Today though was the ceremony to announce the fourth Hokage. Naruto and Kiko were both getting ready to head to the ceremony. Okay, I'm ready Naruto, we can get heading to the ceremony now. Kiko said. So Kiko and Naruto started walking to the ceremony for the fourth Hokage. So you plan on taking the test to join the ANBU tomorrow? Kiko asked. Yes, I do. My dream to become a member of the ANBU will finally happen. Naruto replied. Also, how Kakashi doing? Kiko asked. He still feels bad about Obito and Rin death, but he will hopefully get over it eventually. Naruto said. I hope so, maybe him getting a girlfriend will cheer him up. I also heard that Minato wants him to join the ANBU. Kiko said. Yeah, he does. I don't if that really a good idea. Naruto said. Then everyone got quiet because it was time to introduce the fourth Hokage. The Sandaime was standing solemnly just before the railing, looking at the crowd attentively. He began speaking. My dear friends, comrades, villagers, I'm really grateful to see you all gathered here for this special occasion. This is a very important moment for the village. My time as the Hokage has finally came to an end. It is now time for a new and fresh young leaf to succeed me. A very skilled and modest shinobi that will put an end to the terrible war and will defend the village with love and courage as if it was its own child. So I want you all to give the new Hokage a warm welcome. Here he is, the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze. The whole village cheered when Minato showed up with his Hokage hat on his head. Naruto turned around when he thought he heard the sound of crying. What wrong Naruto? Kiko asked. Nothing, just thought I heard crying. Naruto said. Thank you all, I hope I will be worth your trust and expectations. I promise I do everything in my power to protect you and reconstruct the village and put an end to all those wars that have been plaguing our world for so long. The crowd cheered louder after Minato pronouncing those words. Orochimaru, Tsunade shouted. Naruto then turned around seeing his father walk off from the crowd. "You stay here Okazen and Kiko, I will go talk to him," Naruto said. "Oh Okazen and Oto-san, I'm such a failure, I never become Hokage." Orochimaru said. "Hey Oto-san, knew I find you here at your parents' grave," Naruto said. "Hello Naruto, why aren't you at the ceremony?" Orochimaru asked. "Well, saw you run off so came to see if you were okay. If you want to talk about, I'm all ears," Naruto said. "I'm proud of Minato becoming the Hokage. I always hoped one day I would be Hokage and be acknowledged by the village as a hero. I clearly don't have what it takes to be Hokage since I wasn't picked." Orochimaru said. "That not true Oto-san, you're amazing and kind person. You just need to learn to stop hiding behind a mask. I believe if you show the real you could become the 5th Hokage." Naruto stated. "You're right, thank you Naruto. Also good luck on your ANBU exam tomorrow." Orochimaru said. "You're welcome, glad to see that you're feeling better now," Naruto said. "Only because of you son. If he didn't say what you did I don't think what I would have done, but it'd probably be something I would regret." Orochimaru said. "Well, I'm going to head home now. You should to Okazen probably worry sick about you." Naruto replied. "Yeah, I will go home, see you some other time." Orochimaru said. Today Naruto was going to take the ANBU exam. After getting ready for the day, Naruto started heading to the ANBU headquarters to take the enter exam. From the outside the ANBU headquarters looked like a small apartment. But Naruto walked inside, he saw it was a huge room like a library, but instead of bookshelves it had lots of doors, as well as beams that allowed ANBU to run from one side of the building to the other. And it was full of ANBU. Naruto could feel eyes on him while walking to the desk, give them his entrance paper to take the ANBU exam. "I'm here to take the exam," Naruto said. "I understand Naruto-sama, please take a seat and your examiner will be here soon," said the receptionist. Naruto with and sat over at the table while waiting for the examiner to arrive. While he was waiting someone taped his shoulder. When he turned around he saw was wearing a cat mask. He had a cup of tea. "Thanks for the raspberry tea, that my favorite kind of tea," Naruto said. "No problem Naruto-sama, the examiner should be here soon," the cat mask ANBU said. So Naruto sat quietly drinking his cup of raspberry tea while waiting for the examiner to arrive to give him his entrance exam for joining the ANBU. "Naruto Senju, I will be your examiner," said the ANBU. Naruto looked up and saw a ANBU wearing a snake mask. Naruto thought, that mask it's similar to Oto-san. Did he join ANBU again or did someone get his old mask? The ANBU member then lead Naruto to THW other room where the test was going to take place. The first exam is a written test. First I will take your cup of tea if you're done drinking it, the ANBU said. Naruto handed the cup once he was done drinking his tea. "You have as long as you need to take the written exam," the ANBU explained. So Naruto read the questions over a couple times before answering them. After a couple minutes he answered all of the questions. He read over his answers before turning the exam in. "Okay, now for next test, this way, follow me," the ANBU said. So Naruto followed the snake mask ANBU into the area that looked like gym. "First I want you to lift these 50-pound weights, then run on the track for 30 minutes. The ANBU explained. After 1 hour of taking the ANBU entrance exam, Naruto was sitting in the room where he took the written exam. After he finished the last exam, which was a fight against the examiner. Now he was just waiting for the exams to give him the results. The examiner gave a bottle of water. "Here's some water, you're probably thirsty. You did a great job, you answer every question correct on the written exam. You were able to lift 50 pounds and you still had enough energy to run for 30 after all that heavy lifting. The fight against you proved that you have the strength of a Chunin," the ANBU explained. Naruto could tell the examiner was impressed, but seemed like he wanted to say something else. "You have the requirements to be a ANBU, so here you go, here a mask, and come with me to get you the right size for your ANBU uniform," the examiner said. So Naruto took the fox mask and with the ANBU to get a ANBU uniform that was the right size. "The Hokage will give you a code name for the ANBU," the examiner said. "I understand ANBU-sama, thank you for the mask and uniform," Naruto said. Naruto left the ANBU headquarters and walked to Minato office to show him that he passed the exam and to find out what his code name will be. "Hey Naruto, what brings you to?" Minato then trailed off from continued his sentence when he saw Naruto mask and uniform. "I see you passed the ANBU entrance exam. So I guess you're here to get your codename. Minato said. Yes, I'm Minato. Naruto replied. Your codename let's go with the golden fox because of your gold color eyes and you have a fox mask. Minato said. Not a bad name. Well, I being going home. I be here tomorrow for my first mission. Naruto said. About your first mission, I want you to come to the hidden sand village with me tomorrow to sign a peace treaty. Minato said. You sure? I just joined the ANBU. Don't you want a ANBU that been the ANBU longer than me? Naruto asked. That true, but I believe you are stronger than any of long-term member because of your wood style. Minato said. I understand, then I will come with you tomorrow then. Naruto replied. Naruto was his ANBU outfit, he walking in front of Minato while they traveling to the hidden sand village. 3 days later Naruto and Minato arrived at the hidden sand village. A shinobi was at the gate to greet them. Hello Hokage Dono, welcome to Tsunade. Follow me. The shinobi said. Naruto couldn't help but notice how beautiful the village looks with all of the sand. They lead to huge tower, which was most likely as big as the Hokage tower. Only the Hokage is allowed to come inside. So you either wait outside here or you're welcome to explore the village. The guard said. I go explore the village. Are there any good food places in the villages? Naruto asked. Yeah, there a dango shop, ramen, pasta, and plenty of other food places. The guard said. Okay, thank you. Naruto said. Naruto decided to go look for the ramen shop. How can I help you, sir? The chief asked. I like a bowl of miso ramen please. Naruto said. 1 bowl of miso ramen coming right up. The chief said. The chief then came back with a bowl of miso ramen. While he was eating his ramen, he suddenly saw 2 little kids heading to the cage tower. Sir, do you know if the cage still in the middle of a meeting? A little girl with blonde hair asked. I believe he should almost be done with his meeting. Naruto said. Then the 2 kids continue heading to the cage tower after asking Naruto if the cage was done with his meeting. Who are those kids, sir? Naruto asked. Those 2 kids are the cage kids. He's supposed to be having another kid soon. The chief replied. I see, well thanks for the food. Naruto said. While he was walking the village waiting for the Hokage to be done talking with the cage, Naruto suddenly felt a sinister chakra coming from the hospital. Naruto thought that chakra it almost as sinister as the 9-tailed fox chakra. Naruto then ran to the hospital to see the chakra was coming from. When he arrived at the hospital he could hear people screaming monster and killer. When he went the hospital room where he heard the screaming from, he saw the cage and a red-hair baby on the bed with a odd-looking arm that just killed the lady that looked like she just gave birth. Naruto thought, that arm it doesn't seem normal. You're the ANBU that was here with the Hokage. The cage said. Yeah, but that important, we should stop this baby before he gets hurt or hurts someone else. Naruto stated. Don't it dangerous, don't go any closer. The nurse said. Naruto kept walking but suddenly sand moved in front of the baby. Naruto thought, the sand moving on its own also that sinister chakra and arm. This baby must have a tail beast sealed into him. I know, I try this new jutsu I've been working on. Hokage style elder jutsu, 10th edict on enlightenment. Naruto then starts to control the tail beast before the baby completely lost control. Impressive, so you can use wood style. The cage said. Yes, he can. I've been looking for you, golden fox. Minato said. Sorry, I sensed trouble so went to check it out. You son should be fine now that I suppressed the tail beast that inside of him. Naruto said before walking out of the hospital room with Minato. Wait, how you know he had a tail beast sealed into him? The cage asked. I could tell because I could sense powerful and sinister chakra coming from him. Plus he had abnormal looking arm. The chakra was similar to a friend of mine that has a tail beast in her also. Naruto explained. He correct my wife who was on the same genin team as us. She has the 9 tails sealed in her, so we felt this kind of chakra before. Minato said. Here, take this bag, it has some paper seals in it. If he ever lose control again, this seal should get him back on control. Naruto explained. Thank you so much, Golden Fox and Hokage Dono. The cage said. That was a close call to bad, he killed his mom, but at least you stopped him before he could kill anyone else. Minato said. Yeah, hopefully everything goes okay for the kid. But it probably won't, since after what they saw they're scared of him. Naruto said. Also, how you being due on trying to learn my Rasengan jutsu? Minato asked. I'm doing believe I almost mastered it. Learning it be easier than my wood style. Naruto said. That probably because you're trying way too hard to become stronger than your great-grandfather the first Hokage. Minato stated. I guess so, maybe I should just stop trying so hard. Naruto replied. Naruto heading back to the Leaf Village after completing another week-long mission. Naruto has been in the ANBU for a year now. I went to the Hokage office to turn in his mission report. After turning in his mission report he started to make his way home. Is that you, Naruto? Kiko asked. Yeah, it's me, Kiko. Naruto replied. Can you hear real quick please? Kiko asked. Yeah, let me just put my bag down and grab a snack. Naruto said. So Naruto went to grab a quick snack before heading into the living room to see what Kiko needs him for. You wanted to talk to me, Kiko? Naruto asked. Yes, I have something important that I need to tell you. Kiko replied. What is it, Kiko? Naruto asked. I'm pregnant, we're going to have a child. Kiko said. I'm going to be a father, that amazing, Kiko. Naruto said. I'm so glad you're happy, well, that all I needed to tell you. You're probably hungry for some food and not just chips. So go ahead and make you some lunch. Kiko said. We will need to think of a name for our future kid. Naruto said. Kiko and Naruto were sleeping in bed. Then suddenly Kiko started screaming in her sleep. Kiko, what wrong, did you have a nightmare? Naruto asked. Yeah, but I be fine after drinking more of my pickle juice. Kiko said. If you want to talk about, I listen. Also, you've been craving pickle juice for the last few months of your pregnancy. Naruto stated. Leave me alone, I can't control my cravings. Kiko shouted. Ah! Kiko screamed. What wrong, Kiko, are you in pain? Naruto asked. No, I'm perfectly fine. Kiko said, panting. You sure? You seem like you're in a lot of pain. Naruto said. Ah! Kiko shouted. I think I know what wrong, I'm taking you to the hospital now. Naruto said. Naruto then picked up Kiko and carried her bridal style to the hospital. Once they arrived at the hospital, they just waited for the nurse to show up. Okay, Kiko, you are completely dilated, now you can start pushing. Kiko then started pushing the baby out. She was in so much pain that she was squeezing Naruto's hand. Ah! Kiko screamed. It okay, you're going to be okay, Kiko. Naruto said. Keep pushing, you're almost there. The nurse said. After a little more pushing, the baby finally came out. A baby boy, but looks like there is still one more baby inside. We just wait for the baby to be ready to come out. We're having twins, that explains why my stomach seemed so big. Kiko said. After 20 minutes the next baby was finally ready to come out. Looks like it time start pushing out the next baby. The nurse said. Kiko then began pushing out the next baby. She was panting really hard. You're almost done, just hang in there. The nurse said. After a little more pushing the baby finally came out. A baby girl this time. The nurse said. The nurse then went to check to make sure both of the babies were in good health. They are both very healthy, you may hold them now. The nurse said. Kiko was holding the blue hair baby girl while Naruto was holding the black hair baby boy. Naruto and Kiko had a huge smile on their faces. What should we name them, Naruto? Kiko asked. How about me name the boy Obito? Naruto said. You want to name him after Obito Uchiha? Kiko asked. Yeah, you said if we had a son that you hope he was like Obito. So I figured naming him Obito was a good idea. Naruto explained. I like it, so his name is Obito Senju. Kiko said. I don't have a name in mind for the baby girl. Do you have a name in mind? Naruto asked. I think we should name her Sato because she seems sweet as sugar. Kiko said. I love it, sounds like a very beautiful name. Naruto said. So Obito Senju and Sato Senju. Nice names, I take the babies both get some rest. The nurse said while walking out of the hospital room with the babies. You heard her, get some sleep now, Kiko. I will be sleeping in this chair, Naruto said. Okay, good night, Naruto, I hope your parents and our friends enjoy meeting the twins tomorrow. Kiko said. I'm positive that they will, Kiko. Also, we still need to think about who their godparents should be. Naruto said. Yeah, we do, well, we think about it tomorrow while waiting for them to all visit tomorrow. Kiko stated. Yeah, well, good night, hopefully you don't have another nightmare tonight. Naruto said. Yeah, I think I talk to you about that tomorrow. Kiko said. Okay, if you did tell me about it, you don't have if you don't want to. Naruto stated. I do want to talk to you about, well, good night, Naruto. Kiko said. Good night, love you. Naruto said. Today Naruto and Kiko friends and family were coming to meet the new babies. While they were waiting for people to start visiting, Kiko and Naruto were talking about who the godparents should be. How about we make Kakashi the godfather? Naruto said. I like that, maybe it will heal the hole in his heart. Kiko said. I hope so, and do you have an idea for the godmother? Naruto asked. How about Sango Yamanka, my teammate from when we were genin? Kiko said. Okay with that, never met her. Naruto said. Well, you probably meet her today, I believe she will be coming to meet the babies today. Then suddenly they heard the door open. When they looked at the door they saw Orochimaru and Tsunade walking in. Hey Oto-san and Okazen, meet your grandson and granddaughter. Naruto said. They're both so very cute. Tsunade said. What are the names? Orochimaru asked. The boy name is Obito Senju and the girl name is Sato Senju. Kiko said. Here Oto-san hold Obito and Okazen hold Sato. Naruto said. Obito has your black hair which you got from me and my eye shape and color. He also a little pale like me but not as pale. He has Kiko nose and face shape. Orochimaru said. Yeah, he took more after you and Naruto than he did of me. Kiko stated. Sato so beautiful, her hair is very bright blue with a little bit of blonde in it and she has black eyes like Kiko. Naruto nose shape and Kiko skin color. Tsunade said. Yeah, they're both very beautiful babies. Orochimaru said. Yeah, they are also who are the godparents? Tsunade asked. The godparents are Kakashi and Sango. Kiko replied. Sango Yamanka, the girl who decided to use her mind reader jutsu for therapy. Orochimaru said. Yeah, she did. She also was my teammate who was in love with her other team who died during mission the week before Chunin exams. Kiko said. Well, I guess we be going now, see you later you two. Tsunade said. After they left, Naruto and Kiko just waited for the rest of the visit come. Ah, so cute. A voice exclaimed. Kushina, don't be so loud, you scared the babies. Another voice said. Well, if it isn't Minato and Kushina. Been a while since I seen you, Minato being busy with Hokage duties. Kiko said. Yeah, great to see you, Kiko. Minato said. The babies are so adorable, can I hold one? Kushina asked. Yeah, why don't you hold Obito? Naruto said, handed Obito to Kushina. Ah, he's so adorable, he grow up to be a handsome young man one day. Kushina stated. I agree, the girl is very beautiful, hopefully our future child becomes good friends with your kids. Minato said. Speaking of your child, do you know the gender yet? Kiko asked. No, we wanted to be surprised by I think we will have a girl. Minato said. I think it will be a boy. Kushina said. What if you end up with twins, a girl and boy like me and Kiko did? Naruto said. So who are you going to make the godparents? Kushina asked. The godfather is Kakashi and the godmother is Sango. Kiko said. I see, good choices. Gore or child, we were thinking of making Jiraiya or Naruto the godfather, haven't really decided yet. We still haven't decided on a godmother, but we were thinking maybe Yukiko. Minato said. I think Jiraiya make a good godfather. If you pick me, that is fine by me. Naruto said. Well, we see you later, Naruto and Kiko. Minato and Kushina said. After they left, Sango Yamanka and some guy with long pink hair walked in with her. How have you been, Sango? And if I remember correctly, this guy is your fiancé Daisuke Haruno. Kiko said. Yeah, this is Daisuke Haruno, we plan on getting married sometime this month. Sango stated. Yeah, Daisuke Haruno, I hope my baby sister Sakura and your kids can become good friends in the future. Daisuke said. I hope our future child would be friends with your kids and Sakura also in the future. Sango said. When is your due date, Sango? Kiko asked. I'm due to give birth in December. Sango said. I see, so just 2 months left. Kiko. Yeah, well, it nice meeting Obito and Santo. Sango and Daisuke said while walking out of the door. The last people to visit were Shikaku, Inoichi, and Choza. The three of them were all so happy to meet Obito and Sato. They also hoped their kids and Naruto and Kiko kids would become food friends in the future. I guess Kakashi the godfather isn't coming. Naruto said. I don't know about that, I think he will. Kiko said. Really, I guess we will just have to wait and see. Naruto said. After an hour of waiting, Kakashi finally came to visit Naruto and Kiko. Hello Naruto-sensei and Kiko. Kakashi said. It great to see you, Kakashi, glad to see that you came, Kakashi. Naruto said. Yeah, I heard from Minato-sensei that you made me their godfather. Kakashi said. Yeah, we did. We both believe you make a great godfather. Kiko said. I see. What are the twins' name? Kakashi asked. The boy name is Obito Senju and the girl is Sato Senju. Naruto explained. So you named your son after Obito from my team that was led by you and Minato. Kakashi said. Yeah, we did. If he was still alive, I'm sure he would be happy to have our son named after him. Kiko said. Yeah, I agree. Well, it was nice meeting the twins. I'm going to head home now. Kakashi said. Bye Kakashi, see you later. Kiko and Naruto both said. Tonight Kushina was giving birth. Their ANBU guard outside to make sure nothing happened to Kushina. Naruto and Kiko were getting the twins ready for bed. Naruto was helping guarding because Minato told him that he should stay home with his kids. After Naruto put Obito in bed 30 minutes ago, he suddenly felt a sinister chakra coming towards the village. Naruto thought, that chakra, it feels like the nine-tailed fox. What going? Minato should have been able to keep the nine-tailed fox from escaping from the seal. Kiko, watch the kids. I'm going to stop the nine-tailed fox before it gets closer to the village. Naruto said. While Naruto was running in the direction he can feel the nine-tailed fox coming from. He saw two kids about to get smashed by a building that was falling apart. Wood-style wood dome. Naruto then created a wood dome to shield the two little boys. Are you two okay? Naruto asked. Yes, we are now, sir. Thanks for saving us. The older boy said. Snake clone jutsu. Naruto then created a snake clone to lead the boys to safety. Follow my clone, he take you both to a safe location. Naruto said. Thank you again, sir. The older boy said. After the clone left with the two little boys, Naruto continued making his way to go stop the nine-tailed fox. Roar. When Naruto looked up after hearing that roar, he saw the nine-tailed fox try to attack the village but was being stopped by the third Hokage and a couple of other ninjas. Wood-styled tree bind eternal burial. Naruto started binding the fox legs with the wood. Roar. Nine-tailed fox started roaring again while trying to break free from the binding. Naruto thought, this fox is so strong I might not be able to keep it held with the binding long. I need to try using a different jutsu to deal with the nine-tailed fox. Wood-style four-pillar prison jutsu. Naruto then trapped the nine-tailed fox in cage of wood the second he broke free from the binding. You foolish human, you think I will be trapped in this dumb cage of wood forever? You have to try better than that if you hope to win. The nine-tailed fox said in a deep voice. The nine-tailed fox then charging up a tail beast bomb to break the cage. Summoning jutsu. Naruto then summoned a large green snake. You summon me, Lord Naruto? The snake asked. Yes, Rex, I need you to help me keep that fox from breaking the cage. Naruto stated. I understand, my lord, leave it up to me. Rex said. Rex wrapped his tail around the wooden cage to keep the nine-tailed fox trapped inside. Take this tail beast bomb. The nine-tailed fox shouted. Rex, get out away from the cage now. Naruto shouted. Boom. The wooden cage then blew up, creating a huge explosion that sent Rex and Naruto flying. Man, this fox is so strong. Naruto said, trying to get up. Naruto suddenly felt Minato chakra coming towards his direction. Just give up, you human. You may be able to use wood style like the first Hokage, but you're not as strong as him. You lose this fight against me, you weakling. The nine-tailed fox stated. Yeah, I may not be as strong, but I won't give up yet. Naruto said. Then suddenly Minato show up on Toad that was standing on the nine-tailed fox. A second later he vanished along with the fox. Naruto thought, Minato, what is he planning? I better go see what he has planned. At least the nine-tailed fox is out of the village. Rex, dig a tunnel in the direction Minato went. Naruto command. I understand, leave everything to my lord. Rex said. So Rex dug ungrounded super fast. Minato and Kushina hang in there. Naruto once he saw Minato and Kushina. Naruto, you sure get out of here, leave it to us. Kushina said. Wood-style wood dragon technique. Naruto created a wooden dragon to hold the nine-tailed fox in place before it could stab the babies. Naruto thought, they have two babies, a boy and a girl, maybe. So they ended up with twins also. Sadly, Naruto chakra was so low that he wasn't able to hold the nine-tailed fox back any longer. My chakra almost drained, Kushina said, but she used her last bit of chakra to summon her chakra chains. as several golden chains shot from her back and wrapped around the fox's tails and body, pulling him to the ground. Kushina, Minato shouted worriedly. I'll drag the 9 tails back, and die with it inside me. That'll prevent it from coming back, for a while. It's the only way to you both. With a little bit of chakra I have left, Kushina said, as she looked at her husband and gave him a smile. Thank you for everything. Kushina, you made me husband. You made me into the 4th Hokage, Minato said, tears sliding down on his cheeks. You made me this boy's and girl's father, and I. Don't be sad, Minato. I'm happy, Kushina said, as she gave her husband a weak smile. Happy that you loved me. She turned her head, softening her eyes at the sight of their cry, son and daughter. Happy that it's our son and daughter's birthday. If I have one regret, it not getting to see Berto and Namai grow up. Kushina said. Minato looked down as his hair shadowed his eyes. Kushina. You didn't need to take the fox down with you, he said. We can use our last bit of chakra to see Berto and Namai one more time. Huh? Kushina replied, confused. She tilted her head up to look at her husband. I'll seal your last bit of chakra in Berto with an 8 trigram seal, Minato explained. Then I'll lead the 9 tails away with a seal only a non-Jinchuriki like me can use, the dead demon seal. Kushina eyes with wide. But the user will die. But I will only be able to save half into Berto, which will be the yang half. I only seal a little of the yin half into Namai. If I seal all of the yin half in her, she probably never be able to control it. I will seal it into them using the 8 trigram seal. Minato said. I know what you want to say. But Jiraiya-sensei spoke of the world undergoing a revolution, and with it, a great disaster. He continued to calm his wife down. Tonight, I've the 2 things. The first, that masked man, the one who attacked you. He is the harbinger of disaster. He looked down at sleeping face of his son. And Berto or Namai will be the one to stop him. The Jinchuriki who will blaze the trail to our future. I just know it. He carefully put baby Berto and Namai to the ground. How faith in our children, they are our son and daughter after all. Minato said. Minato was preparing to seal half of the 9-tailed fox. The spectral spirit eater aka Shinigami hovered behind Minato. Shinigami was much larger than any average human. He possessed long, shaggy white hair, which was wrapped around Minato's soul, from which 2 red horns protrude, and dark grayish-blue colored skin. It was draped in large white garments and carries a set of prayer beads, and had a tanto in its mouth. Minato, don't do this, the kids need their father. Kushina said, tears in her eyes. They need their mother more, there are things only you can tell them. Die to create a better life for the children, that the father's job. Minato stated. The devourer of spirit shoved its hand through Minato's stomach and grabbed the monstrosity that towered over him. The fox, who was unable to speak due to Kushina's chakra bindings, mentally cursed when he felt his power being ripped into 2. Now time for the 8 trigram seal. Minato said. What, you 2 are going to really kill yourself? Naruto exclaimed. If the only way to save the village, whatever happens, take care of Namai and Berto, since we decided to make you his godfather instead of Jiraiya. Kushina said. Naruto thought. I will try my best to protect Eve if I'm weak. 9-tailed fox thought. He plans to seal me in both of these babies. Kushina's chakra and strength began to fade, as she started to wobble and deep coughing racked through her body. She tried desperately to breathe, that caused her control over the chakra chains to lessen. It gave the 9 tails enough time to try a counterattack. Kushina, stay with me, Minato shouted, as he quickly turned from the throne he just had laid Naruto on. The 9 tails raised his right forepaw in preparation to slam it down on the blonde-hair baby boy and a red-hair baby girl, crushing the only things between his freedom, as he didn't want to be sealed again in another vessel. However, his efforts turned to vain as both parents threw themselves in the line of his claw and used their own bodies to stop the claw from reaching their son, fatally wounding themselves in the process. The blood-soaked claw stopped a mere 3 inches above Berto's and Namai's chin, and the dying parents breathed a relief. Using her strength and chakra, Kushina tightened her chakra chains around the 9 tails. If a father can do this, Minato said, trying to ease some stress. Kushina picked up on it, and completed. The mother should be even better, right? Damned humans. The 9 tails cursed. Ignoring the fox, Kushina glanced behind her at her husband, and rasped, you win. First argument you've ever won. I guess, you're really serious. Minato chuckled. Thank you, Kushina? Minato muttered, before he ran through some hand seals. It's time for me to go, Kushina. I'm going to perform the 8 trigrams seal, and try to leave a little of my own chakra in Berto and Namai too. We don't have much time. If you have anything left to say to Berto and Namai. Berto and Namai. Kushina bowed her head in understanding, looking at her son, who opened his eyes causing her to smile. Berto and Namai, don't be fussy eaters. Eat a lot and grow up to be a big boy and girl. Take your bath every day. Go to bed early and sleep well. She took a pause and looked at her son and daughter. Make friends. It doesn't matter how many. Just make sure they're real friends. People you can trust, even a few is enough. And study your ninjutsu. I was never very good at it, maybe you will be. Everyone has things they're good at and things they're not. Don't feel bad if you can't do it all. Make sure you listen to your teachers at the academy. And remember to avoid the 3 voices of shinobi. Don't borrow money if you can help it. Save what you earn from missions. No drinking alcohol until you're 20, and don't overdo it or you'll ruin your body. And as for women, well, I'm a woman so I don't know what to say. Make sure the men are kind, caring, and that they truly love you. But there are only men and women in the world, and you'll want a girlfriend or boyfriend someday. Just try not to pick a weird one. Try to find someone like your mother and someone like your father. And the 4th warning, listen to your godfather Naruto and your godmother Kiko. Minato smiled after hearing Kushina's 4th warning. Kushina paused to smile, as Berto and Namai began to tear up seeing the blood pouring out of her mouth as it rose up from the pit of her stomach. With tears streaming down her face, she spoke again. Berto and Namai, you're going to experience a lot of pain and suffering. Remember who you are. Find a goal, a dream, and don't stop trying until it comes true. There's so much more I want to say, to teach you about. I want to stay with you. I love you. Minato sighed, but kept his mouth shut. I'm sorry, Minato. I took all our time, she said sobbing. It's okay, Minato replied before looking at his son. Berto and Namai, this is your dad. Listen to your motor-mouth mother. Seal. The 9-tailed fox roared as it was drawn into the seal, as a blinding flash took over the area, and Minato collapsed alongside Kushina who panted as she watched the Shinigami take Minato's soul. Shinigami-sama. Kushina panted, getting the deity's attention. I'm the heiress of the Uzumaki clan. My son will be the last of your followers. I don't care what happens to me, or the price I have to pay, but please grant my son the power to protect himself. The Shinigami looked at Kushina for a moment before he looked to the boy and girl Kami's child of prophecy. The Shinigami looked at the boy for a moment before he reached forward and his arm disappeared into a portal, before he dragged out 5 beings and placed them into the seal. Kushina smiled as she glowed a bright blue, as her soul was wiped from existence. I love you, Berto and Namai. Kushina said, kissing her son's and daughter's cheek before she passed on. Hiruzen and his ANBU watched the family and heard Kushina's request but had no idea what was done to her son or daughter. When the barrier dropped they approached slowly, and picked up Berto and Namai. Lord Third, what about Naruto? The ANBU asked. I see he passed out, grab him, take him to Tsunade to get heal. The 3rd Hokage said. I understand sir, I take him there right now. The ANBU said. Today everyone was gathering for the funeral of the 4th Hokage and his wife Kushina. Naruto couldn't believe that Minato and Kushina were dead. He didn't understand how the seal could have broke. Everyone, we are gathered here today for the death of the 4th Hokage and his wife Kushina Uzumaki, along with the other shinobi that were killed while trying to stop the 9-tailed fox. The 3rd Hokage said. After the 3rd Hokage was done talking, Naruto went up to the front of the crowd of people to give his speech. Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, was a good man. He was my rival. We would always challenge each other to a fight to see which one of us were stronger. We were also teammates on the same team. More importantly, he was my best friend. His wife Kushina Uzumaki, she was my other teammate. When times got tough, the 3 of us were always there for each other. They will both be missed, but they didn't die for nothing. Thanks to them, the village is safe. Naruto said. Kiko was very impressed with Naruto's speech. So was everyone else. They were all very impressed with Naruto's speech that they all started clapping. After Naruto gave his speech, he went back to standing next to his wife and holding his son. Once the funeral was over, Naruto decided to stay a little longer after everyone left. Well, he thought he was by himself. That was a great speech, son. Orochimaru said. Thanks Oto-san, I just wish I was strong enough to save them. Naruto stated. I know that you feel like it's your fault, but it's not. You gotta stay strong for you kids and Kiko. The three of them are going to need you there for them. Orochimaru explained. I know also why has Kiko been acting strange since after the attack of the nine-tailed fox? Naruto asked. Well, because people are blaming the Uchiha for the nine-tailed fox attack. It said that the Uchiha clan can control the nine-tailed fox with their Sharingan. Orochimaru explained. Is there anything I can do to help her? Naruto asked. Yes, you can help her by believing that she had nothing to do with the nine-tailed fox attack and trust her. Orochimaru said. I will. Thanks Oto-san, I feel a little better now, still wish I was stronger. Naruto said. Well, why don't you go travel with your Hokage for a while to train so when you come back you be strong enough to keep the village safe. Take Kiko and your kids. Orochimaru said. I will talk to Kiko about it when I get home. Naruto said. Okay, see you later. I better get Minato and Kushina kids to the Sarutobi sensei like he asked me to. Orochimaru said. If I do leave to train with Hokage, I most likely come back when they're old enough to enter the academy. Naruto said. Sounds good to me. Tsunade went to talk to the third Hokage about it. So you don't have to worry about telling him that you're leaving to train. Orochimaru explained. Okay, good night Oto-san. Naruto said. Good night Naruto. Orochimaru said. So I decided that I want to leave the village to train with my Hokage. I also want you and the kids to come since things aren't so great for the Uchiha clan right now in the village. Naruto said. I understand. I will start packing some of my things. You go ahead and let your Hokage know. Kiko said. So Naruto headed over to Tsunade and Orochimaru house to talk to Tsunade. Once he arrived at the house he knocked on the door. Hi Naruto, it great to see you son. Tsunade said. It great to see you too Hokage. Naruto said. So did you come here to talk about leaving the village to train? Tsunade asked. Yes, I would like to go with you to train. I will also have Kiko and the babies coming with us. Naruto said. Okay, that fine. I already let the Sarutobi sensei know that we plan on leaving. I also told him we back once the twins can enter the academy. Which is at the age 8 since they changed the entering age. Tsunade explained. I see, well then I go let Kiko know. Also, what go to happen with Minato and Kushina kids? Naruto asked. Sarutobi sensei said that they will go by the name Uzumaki. Since Minato has enemies, no one can know that Minato is their father. The kids aren't allowed to know until they are ready. They should be fine. Sarutobi sensei will be taking care of them. Once you get back you can start watching over them like a godfather should. Tsunade said. Okay, when are we leaving? Naruto asked. We leave tomorrow afternoon, so Orochimaru will be able to see you before we leave. Since he should be done working by then. Tsunade stated. Well then I will head home and start pack some of my stuff along with the baby's things. Naruto said. Naruto and Kiko were finishing up their packing so they could get ready to leave the village. Okay, I got everything I need, we should get going now. Naruto said. Yeah, I got my stuff and all of the baby's stuff. Kiko said. So Kiko and Naruto started traveling to the gate to meet up with Tsunade. You're both finally here. Tsunade said. We're Oto-san, we are going to tell him bye before we leave, right? Naruto said. Of course I wouldn't leave the village without telling him bye. Tsunade replied. Sorry for taking so long, had to turn in my mission report. Orochimaru said. Well, I see you when we come back to the village in 8 years to enter the twins into the academy. Naruto said. Yeah, try to stay out of trouble and don't let people get to you by calling you a monster. If things get tough, Jiraiya and Sarutobi sensei will still be here. Tsunade said. Yeah, or you can just come visit us whenever you get a chance. The twins would be happy to see their Gigi. Kiko said. I will definitely come visit if I get the chance. Maybe during one of my mission I will end up running into you. Orochimaru said. Naruto sensei. A voice yelled. You're leaving sensei, please don't leave, I don't want to be alone. Kakashi said. Oh Kakashi, I be back, I only be gone for a few years. I promise I be back soon. Naruto said. He right kid, it going to be fine. You don't have to be alone if you wouldn't push your friends away. Orochimaru said before walking off. I see you guys soon, bye. Orochimaru said. You should take my Oto-san advice, don't push your friends away. Also stop blaming yourself for Minato, Rin, and Obito deaths. They chose to give up their lives to protect the village and the people important to them. Naruto said, "See you when we get back, Kakashi, goodbye." Kiko said, "It was a beautiful morning in the land of tea." Naruto was outside playing with Obito and Sato, while Tsunade, Kiko, and Shizune were out doing some shopping. After hours of playing, the kids went to their rooms to take a nap. "Oh, you three are back. The kids just went upstairs an hour ago to take a nap." Naruto said, "I see. Well, I will start making lunch. It going to chicken for lunch today." Kiko said, "Yummy, chicken sounds so good." Naruto said, "Knock knock." There was suddenly knocking at the door. "Who could that be? Let's go check it out." Kiko said, "I go check, be right back." Naruto said. So Naruto went to go see who was at the door. Once he opened it, he saw that it was Orochimaru. "Oto-san, it been a while, great to see you." Naruto said. "Orochi, what brings you here?" Tsunade asked. "I was just heading back to the Leaf Village after completing my mission. I saw you in town, so came to say hi." Orochimaru said. "It great to see you, Lord Orochimaru." Shizune said. "Yeah, it great to see you too. I didn't know you were going went them." Orochimaru said. "Yeah, right after you left, after saying goodbye. I decided to go get Shizune so I could take her along with us to train." Tsunade explained. "I see. Well, how are Obito and Sato doing?" Orochimaru asked. "They're doing great, let me go get them real quick." Naruto said. While Naruto went upstairs to get Obito and Sato, Kiko made everyone tea to drink while waiting for Naruto to come back down. "So how have you been, Orochi?" Tsunade asked. "I've been okay, just been doing lots of missions. Sarutobi-sensei thinking of making me a Chunin sensei again. Still have to deal with people treating me like a monster. Jiraiya been keeping me from joining Danzo again." Orochimaru said. "I see. Well, don't worry, I be back once the twins turn 8 years old. You won't have to be alone without me much longer." Tsunade said. "You promise you not going to abandon me and not come back?" Orochimaru asked. "I promise if something does come up AMD I'm not back when they come to the village to join the academy. I have Naruto let you know." Tsunade said. "Okay, I believe you, this tea is so good." Orochimaru said. Naruto then came down carrying the twins. Obito and Sato say hello, you have a visitor. Naruto said. Obito and Sato then looked at Orochimaru. "Who are you?" Obito asked. "I'm not surprised that you don't remember me. After all, you both were just a baby back then. I'm Orochimaru, the father of your father." Orochimaru said. "So you're our Gigi?" Sato said. "Yes, I'm your Gigi." Orochimaru said. "How are you two now?" Orochimaru asked. "We're 4 years old, Gigi." Obito said. "Wow, you're both getting so big. Wish I could stay longer but got to get home soon." Orochimaru said. "Oh, will we get to see you again?" Sato asked. "Yes, you will, beautiful girl. You see me again when your parents bring you back home to the Leaf Village." Orochimaru said. "I see you got the same mark on your head like Tsunade does Naruto." Orochimaru said. "Yes, I do. It took me a few years to get the mark. I also got better at my sage mode, it not as great as yours, Oto-san." Naruto said. "You get there one day, just keep up the good work. Well, I better start heading home now, see you when you come back to the village." Orochimaru said. "Itachi, I hate to ask you this, but we have no choice but to murder the clan." The third Hokage said. "That means even the children have to die, including your brother." Danzo said. "Danzo, don't say such things in front of Itachi. So sorry it has come to this." The third Hokage said. "I will accept the mission, in return my brother gets to live. He has nothing to do with the coup." Itachi said. "He will be allowed to live, but remember you will be considered a rouge once you complete the mission." The third Hokage said. "I understand that, fine, as long as you promise to keep my brother safe." Ichai said. "I will, Itachi." The third Hokage. So Itachi went to get his ANBU outfit on before going to kill his clan. Before going to kill the clan, Itachi met up with a man wearing a orange mask. "Hey, there's something I need you to help me with." Itachi said. "What is it?" The masked man asked. "I need you to help me kill my clan, or I tell the village that I know who caused the 9-tailed fox attack." Itachi said. "Okay, fine, I will help you out. I'm going to help you because I have another goal." The masked man said. "Okay, but you better not hurt my little brother or I kill you." Itachi said. "You will join the Akatsuki. Then I will promise you that I won't kill your little brother." The masked man said. "Fine, I will join your organization." Itachi said. After they were done talking, They both headed to the Uchiha district to kill the clan. Once Itachi arrived in the clan district, he put his ANBU mask on and started killing everyone in the clan along with the masked man. "Who are Uchiha clan member asked before the orange masked man cut his head off. Itachi just ran through the clan district killing everyone. One. Itachi, what lies behind this slaughter? Fugaku Uchiha asked. This, Itachi said with his Sharingan glowing. I see Sasuke Fugaku said. Then Fugaku Uchiha poof away. A shadow clone. Itachi said. Itachi then sat under the moonlight before going to finish his mission. Father is the worst possible enemy for me. Itachi said. Over here, come in, there are no traps. Fugaku said. So Itachi walked into the room his parents were in. Father, Itachi said. I don't want to participate in a death match with my son. Fugaku explained. Itachi, promise me this. Take care of Sasuke. Fugaku said. I will. Itachi said, crying. Itachi's sword then began shake because of his crying. Our philosophies may be different, but I love you, son, and very proud of you. Fugaku said. You truly are a kind child. Fugaku said. Itachi then killed both of his parents. Mother, father, I'm home. Sasuke shouted. Big brother, father and mother are both dead. Sasuke said. I don't understand who could have do something like this. Sasuke asked. Itachi then throws a shrunken at Sasuke. He then shows Sasuke the clan being killed with his genjutsu. Ah, stop it. Sasuke shouts. Itachi then released the genjutsu. Why did you do this, Itachi? Why? Sasuke asked. To test the limits of my ability. It is of great importance. Itachi explains. Sasuke then starts crying. The Itachi walk outside. No, this isn't like you, big brother. Sasuke says. I had acted like the older brother you desired for one reason. Itachi said. Because I wanted to discover how powerful you are. Itachi explained. I needed to find a worthy opponent to test the limits of my abilities. You have that unique potential. Now I made you hate me. Now you have the desire to defeat me. Which is why I'm going to let you live. Don't you see it, ALK, for my own benefit? You may be one of the few to be able to use the Mangekyo Sharingan just like me. But there is a catch, take the life of your best friend. You must kill him. That a lie. Sasuke said. Kill him just like I did. Itachi said. Sasuke then remembered the day the other Uchiha clan members asked if Itachi knew anything about Shisui's death. You're saying that it was you, Itachi? You killed Shisui? Sasuke asked. I did. How else do you think I obtained these power? Itachi asked. In the main hall of Nakano Shrine. Underneath the 7th tatami mat. On the right is the clan's secret cavern. There you will find a secret document. An explanation of the clan's secret jutsu. The visual jutsu true purpose. Sasuke thought, the true purpose. Quote, if you attain these eyes you will be the 4th person to attain the Mangekyo Sharingan. Including myself. Itachi explained. To make sure that happens, that enough reason to let you live. Itachi said. Well, that are. Itachi said, turning around to walk away. Sasuke then started to panic. Oh, don't worry, you're not worth killing. Itachi said. My foolish little brother. Itachi said. If you wish to kill me and hate. Surviving is such a ugly manner as this. By all means flee, run away, clinging to your pathetic life. And then one day, when you have the same eyes, come back and face me. Itachi said before knocking Sasuke out with genjutsu. Sasuke then later woke up in the hospital. Sasuke thought, a dream. Until he realized his arm was actually injured. Yeah, that what I heard too. One of the nurse said. That he was the only one who survived. The nurse said to the auth nurse. Someone said that they think he has a older brother. One of the NRUSE said. Yeah, he does, but no one know where he is. One of the NRUSE said. Also, didn't there used to be a light blue hair Uchiha in that clan? One NRUSE asked. I think so, but I don't think she in the village anymore. At least no one seen her anywhere. One NRUSE said. I can't believe that the elite Uchiha clan could be wiped out like that. One of the NRUSE said. Sasuke thought, light blue hair Uchiha, I never seen anyone like that. There couldn't be a mother Uchiha out there alive, right? Sasuke then walked around the Uchiha district hoping his family would come back. Thinking about the good times he used to have with his clan. Sasuke thought, that house over there with the green roof. Well, have I never seen a member from the clan ever come out? Yet it looks like someone owns it. Naruto, Kiko, and the twins were making their way to the Hidden Leaf village. How come Granny Tsunade isn't coming with us? Obito asked. She'd be back in the village, so she said she had a little more training to do with Shizune. Kiko explained. What the Hidden Leaf Village like? Sato asked. It a really beautiful village and lots of kids for you to meet in the academy now that you're 8 years old. So you're finally old enough to start going to the ninja academy. Naruto explained. Wow, that gate is so huge. Obito exclaimed. We'll try not to act like a goofball, brother, you already look goofy with those googles. Sato. Hold it, who are? One of gate guards asked. We're here to see the Hokage. Naruto said. Wait, you both look familiar. One guard. I sure hope so, my parents are both the Snake Lord and Slug Queen. Naruto replied. It can't be Lord Naruto and the vanishing Uchiha Kiko. Then these two must be Obito and Sato Senju. Izumo said. That correct, now can we go see the Hokage? Kiko asked. Of course, go on ahead, it great to see you again. Katestu said. So the family started making their way to the Hokage tower. Now back to what I was about to say earlier. Obito may act like a goofball, but your brother is really smart. Naruto said. I know, Oto-san, I'm saying that he should stop acting like one because people we think he dumb when he not. I just don't want people to be ruined to him because of that. Sato said. That's sweet, he will be fine as long as he has you. Kiko stated. While walking they overheard people talking about the Uchiha massacre. Kiko thought, that odd, what do they mean my clan was killed except for one? Once they arrive at the Hokage office. Naruto knocked on the door. Come in. A voice from behind the door said. Here is in Sarutobi up from his desk to see who walked into his office. When he looked up he saw Naruto, Kiko, and the twins Obito and Sato. I see it, great to see you Naruto and Kiko. Sarutobi said. Yeah, we just came back from trip outside of the village. Naruto said. I see, well, I will let the academy teacher know that there will be 2 new students coming today. Sarutobi sensei. Also my Okazan decided to stay out the village a little bit longer to train with Shizune. Naruto said. I see, well, before you take the kids to the academy. Naruto, do you want to come back to ANBU or do you want to do something else? Sarutobi asked. I would like to go back to the ANBU. Naruto replied. Okay, then come back later to get your old uniform. You will have the same codename Golden Fox. Sarutobi said. Okay. Naruto said. I heard the Uchiha been killed, but can I move back into my old house? Kiko asked. Yes, your house is still in perfect condition. I will talk to you about what happened later on today. Also Sarutobi said. I understand, well, kids, say hello to the 3rd Hokage. Kiko said. Hi. Both kids exclaimed. It's so great to see you two, both of you gotten bigger. Sarutobi said. What is a Hokage? Obito asked. The Hokage is the leader and protector of the village. Kiko explained. Oh, that sounds cool, maybe I become the Hokage one day. Obito exclaimed. Yeah, that sounds wonderful, Obito. Sarutobi said. Before you go, would you like to continue teaching at the academy, Kiko? Sarutobi asked. Yes, I would like to continue teaching. Kiko said. Okay, then when you come back later, I will assign you academy class to teach. Sarutobi said. Well, come on kids, let's get you to the academy. So the family started making their way to the academy. In the classroom. So class, now today we have 2 students joining us today. Iruka sensei said. New students, hopefully they're not a loser like Berto. Ken Haruno said. Excuse. A voice said from behind Iruka. Oh, you two must be the new students. Iruka sensei said. Yes, we are, sir. Sato said. Well, both of you come up here and introduce yourself. Iruka sensei said. I'm Sato Senju. I like pizza, drawing, and my family. My dislikes are bullies, toads. My parents are Naruto Senju and Kiko Uchiha. Sato said. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Sato? Iruka sensei asked. A boy with black hair raised his hand. What is your question, Sasuke, for Sato? Iruka asked. If your mama Uchiha, how come I never seen you in the Uchiha district? Sasuke asked. Well, because my family wasn't in the village. We just came back to the village. Sato replied. I see. Sasuke said. Any more questions for Sato? Iruka asked. A girl with pink hair raised her hand. Yes, Sakura, what is your question? Iruka asked. Do you have a crush on anyone? Sakura asked. No, I don't, because I just joined the academy. Sato said. Well, since it doesn't look like anyone else has questions for Sato, Then you can go sit by Ken Haruno, which is the boy next to Sasuke with short blonde hair," Iruka said. Sato then walked over to sit next to Ken Haruno. "Now it's your turn to introduce yourself," Iruka said. "My name is Obito Senju. I like apples, my family, and my goggles. My dislikes are show-offs, crows, and dango. My parents are Naruto Senju and Kiko Uchiha. My dream to become Hokage," Obito exclaimed. "Thank you for sharing, Obito. Does anyone have any questions for Obito?" Iruka asked. "No, I will become the Hokage, you better believe it," a loud voice exclaimed. "Berto, be quiet," Iruka shouted. "Sorry, Iruka-sensei, but that boy needed to know who the real Hokage will be," Berto said. "Enough, any questions for Obito?" Iruka asked again. A girl with blonde hair raised her hand. "Yes, what is your question, Ino?" Iruka asked. "Why are your eyes gold and look like a snake?" Ino asked. "My eyes look like that because of my Gigi," Obito replied. "Does anyone else have a question for Obito?" Iruka asked. A girl with short purple eyes raised her hand. "What is your question, Hinata?" Iruka asked. "Who is your Gigi?" Hinata asked. "My Gigi name is Orochimaru," Obito said. "Any more questions?" Iruka asked. A boy who looked extremely lazy raised his hand. "What is your question, Shikamaru?" Iruka asked. "Do you mean Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin?" Shikamaru asked. "Yes, I mean Orochimaru, the Snake Lord of the legendary Sannin," Obito said. "Okay, well, since there seem to be no MPRE questions, you can go sit next to Berto Uzumaki, the blonde hair boy who incredibly loud," Iruka said. So Obito went and sat next to Berto, who was next to a girl with red hair. "Now that the introductions are over, we will continue on with today's lesson," Iruka said. So the rest of class was just Iruka continuing the lesson he was going over until Obito and Sato walked into the classroom. Obito and Sato have been in the academy for a few weeks now. Now the class was in the middle of lunch break. Obito was sitting under a tree eating his lunch. Then a boy with blonde hair wearing a shirt with paint on it came over and sat by him. "So you and Sato are twins?" Berto asked. "Yeah, she my twin sister." "You're Berto Uzumaki, correct?" Obito asked. "Yeah, I'm Berto Uzumaki. Sorry for yelling at you about the Hokage dream," Berto said. "It's fine, I'm mad at you," Obito replied. "So you're Uchiha like Sasuke?" A girl with red hair asked. "Yeah, but I'm also a Senju," Obito said. "Oh hey sister, I thought you were talking to Shikamaru," Berto said. "I was but decided I wanted to get to know the new kids," Namai said. "So you two are twins like me and Sato," Obito said. "Yeah, we're twins. You should come meet your other friends Datbeo," Berto said. "Well, it looks like Sasuke and my sister are having some kind of conversation, wonder what they're talking about," Obito said. "Sasuke probably just trying to show off his skills," Berto said. Berto then dragged Obito over to the other kids. "Hey, aren't you Obito?" Shikamaru asked. "Yeah, I'm Obito, what are your guys' names?" Obito asked. "My name Choji Akamichi," Choji said while eating chips. "I'm Shikamaru Nara," Shikamaru said sounding bored. "I'm Ken Haruno, also Sakura nephew. Her older brother is my father. My mama Yamanka, which is why my hair is blonde and not pink," Ken said. "I see, well, nice to meet you three," Obito said. So Obito continued talking with his new friends until lunch was over. The class did some sparring after lunchtime. Once the sparring matches were over, class was done for the day. "Hey Sato, what you and Sasuke talking about?" Obito asked. He was just wondering what mom looked like. Sato replied. "I see, maybe he meet mom one day. After all, they are from the same clan, so maybe she will talk to him, so he doesn't feel so alone now that his clan is dead," Obito said. Obito and Sato been in the academy for 4 years now. Today Obito and Sato were training with their parents for the graduation exam tomorrow. Right now Kiko was helping Obito and Sato with their chakra control by having them climb trees. While Kiko was watching Obito and Sato climb the trees, she felt someone watching her. When she turned around, she saw a boy with a dark blue shirt with a Uchiha crest on it. Kiko thought, that must be Sasuke Uchiha. After a while of tree climbing, Kiko and Naruto decided to move on to working on their taijutsu skills. Kiko could tell Sasuke was still watching them train, so she decided she would go see what he wanted while Naruto continued training with the twins. Obito and Sato have been training for hours now. So Naruto decided to call it a day. That enough training, you both should be ready for the graduation exams. Naruto said. Okay Oto-san, I hope we both test and get a really cool sensei. Obito exclaimed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will get a great sensei, you will have to just wait and see. Kiko said. So what did Sasuke what? Naruto asked. He was just remembering his parents seeing Obito and Sato training with us. He was also wondering if I really was a Uchiha because of my light blue hair. Kiko explained. I see, well, I heard Kakashi is getting a team of genin this year, maybe he get on of our kids. Naruto said. I guess we just have to wait and see. I started teaching the third Hokage grandson today at the academy. Kiko said. That nice, we sure go inside and start making dinner, we've been training with the twins since after lunch. Naruto said. Yeah, let's go inside. Kiko said. Today was finally the day of the graduation exams. Obito and Sato were super excited. Because if they passed they could finally become ninja. Okay, today is the graduation exam. I hope you're all prepared for the exam. I will call you up here. When your name gets called you will become back in this room and perform the clone, just you. Iruka-sensei explained. Obito thought, the clone jutsu, that will be easy. Up first is Shino Aburame. Iruka said. Shino then walked into the room in the back to take his exam. He came out a few minutes later wearing a ninja headband. Now next is Choji Akamichi. Iruka said. Iruka just continue on calling names. Obito and Sato stopped listening until Iruka started getting close to their name on the list. Now Namai Uzumaki. Iruka said. Namai Uzumaki went into the back room. After 15 minutes she came back wearing a blue headband. Now Berto Uzumaki. Iruka said. After a few minutes Berto came running out the room with no headband. Well, looks like Berto didn't pass RHE exam. Sato said. Obito thought, he tried really hard and he failed, that sucks. Now Obito Senju. Iruka said. When Obito walked into the back room he saw Iruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei sitting at the table together with headbands on it. Okay Obito, I want you to make 3 clones. Iruka said. Clone jutsu. Obito then created 5 perfect clones. Nice job Obito, you pass. Iruka said. Obito then went and grabbed a headband from Mizuki-sensei. Obito then walked back over to sit next to his sister Sato. I see you passed, nice job brother. Sato said. Thanks sister and good luck. Obito said. Now Sato Senju. Iruka said. Sato walked into the back room to take her exam. Okay Sato, I want you to make 3 clones. Iruka said. Snake clone jutsu. Sato then made 3 snake clones. Nice job, it was a different clone jutsu. But you still made 3 clones, so you pass. Iruka said. Thank you Iruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei. Sato said. Okay, now that everyone took the test you all may leave now. Come back tomorrow to get your team placements. Iruka said. So Obito and Sato started walking home. Why they were walking home? They heard 2 ladies talking to each other. He the only Omda didn't graduate. One lady said. That boy shouldn't even allow to become a ninja. After all, isn't he the underscore? One lady started saying. Shish, weren't not supposed to talk about that. One lady said. When Obito turned to look at Berto he saw that he was gone. I don't know what that was all about, but let's go. Sato said. Yeah, let's go home. Obito said. Today all of the students that graduation were getting their team placements. What are you doing here? Only those who graduation are allowed. Shikamaru said. Don't you see this headband I passed? Berto said. Shikamaru then walked away and went to sit down. Then suddenly Ino and Sakura came running in, fighting about who gets to sit next to Sasuke. Berto then gets on the desk and begins glaring at Sasuke. A boy with brown accidentally bumps Berto and makes him and Sasuke kiss each other. All of the fangirls started screaming and beating up Berto. Until Iruka-sensei walks into class and tells everyone to sit down. As of today you're all ninjas. To get you all faced difficult challenges. But that nothing what comes next will be even more challenging. Now you're Genin first level ninjas. All the Genin would normally be in 3-man squads, all led by a Chunin elite ninja. Since their uneven number 1 team will end up with 4 members. Iruka explained. Well, someone got to be in Sasuke group, I wonder who. Ino said. I don't know. Sakura said. Sato was just staring at them like, please shut up. We want each squad to have a balance of strength and abilities. So that how we set them up. Iruka explained, I will now announce the squads. Iruka said, Team 7 is Berto Uzumaki, Sato Senju, Ken Haruno. Oh man, I wanted to be when Sakura. Berto said, my sister better than Sakura. Obito said, Team 8 is Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame. Team 10 is Ino Yamanka, Shikamaru Nara, and Choji Akamichi. Finally Team 11 is Obito Senju, Sasuke Uchiha, Namae Uzumaki, and Sakura Haruno. No fair she gets to be on Sasuke team. Ino, I don't see what the big deal is, he not even that cool. Shikamaru said, okay, you all meet up with your Chunin sensei after lunch. Iruka said, so everyone went to eat lunch outside, while waiting for it to be time to meet with their Chunin sensei. What is Berto doing transformed as Sasuke? Sato asked. He probably trying to trick Sakura into kissing him, while pretending to be Sasuke. Obito replied, after few hours it finally time to meet the Chunin sensei. Every other team already left with their Chunin expected for Team 7 and Team 11. Berto, knock it off, idiot. Sakura said, no Chunin is going to fall for a dumb eraser trick. Sasuke said, yeah Sasuke right, you're so dumb that not going to work. Sakura said. Then they heard a poof sound. When the genin turned to look at the door, they saw a tall pale man with long black hair down his back, with golden snake-looking eyes, wearing a purple kimono and a green vest. He had on black sandals and bandages on his legs. Sasuke thought, he looks so powerful, and appeared out of nowhere. Quote, Team 11 follow me to training ground 3. The Chunin said in a snake-like voice. After Team 11 left, Team 7 was still waiting for their Chunin sensei to show up. A few minutes later a sliver-haired Chunin showed up. When a eraser fell on his head, Berto started laughing like crazy. My first impression of this group is you're a bunch of idiots. The sliver-haired Chunin said. Meet me up on the roof. The sliver-haired Chunin said before disappearing. Okay, now that everyone up here, let's introduction. The sliver-haired Chunin said. What do you want us to say? Sato asked. Tell me your name, your likes, dislikes, hobbies and your dream. The sliver-haired Chunin explained. Why don't tell us stuff about you first so we can understand how it works? Berto said. My name is Kakashi Hitaki Rhe. Things I like, and the things I dislike, don't feel like telling you all that. I have lots of hobbies. I haven't really thought about a dream. Sato thought. He didn't tell us anything about him, only his name. Okay, you on the right, go first. Kakashi said. Believe it, I'm Berto Uzumaki. I like instant ramen in a cup, and I really like the ramen Iruka sensei got me. I hate the 3 minutes you have to wait for the ramen and water in the cup. My hobbies are eating ramen and comparing them. My dream is to BW the greatest Hokage, then the whole village will stop disrespecting me and start treating like I'm somebody important. Berto said. Kakashi thought, wow, he grow up in a very interesting way. Okay, your turn, girl. Kakashi said. My name is Sato Senju. I like my family, dangos, and ice cream. My dislikes are bullies, toads, and miso ramen. My hobbies are drawing, training, and reading. My dream is to become a medical ninja. Sato said. Kakashi thought, so she wants to be a medical ninja. Quote, now you boy with blonde ponytail. Kakashi said. My name is Ken Haruno. My likes are my parents, dogs, the color red. My dislikes are my aunt Sakura, dangos, and Sasuke. My dream to help my mom do therapy. Ken said. Kakashi thought, they are all very interesting kids. Okay, tomorrow we will be doing a mission. Kakashi. What kind of mission will it be? A super cool one. Berto exclaimed. It will be a survival exercise. Kakashi said. Survival exercise? Berto asked. Why are doing more practice? Sato asked. It not like your previous training. Kakashi explained. What kind of training is it then? Berto asked. Kakashi then started laughing. What's so funny? Ken asked. If I tell you won't like the answer. Kakashi said. Out of the 27 student who graduation, only 13 will become actually genin. The other 9 will be weeded out and sent back to the academy. In other words, this is a make it or break it pass-fail test. The chance that you fail is at least 60%. Kakashi said. The 3 genin were completely shocked by the answer. See, didn't I tell you won't like it? Kakashi said. That crazy, we worked hard to get here. What was that graduation test for then anyway? Berto said. Oh, that was to select candidates who might become genin. Kakashi replied. What? Berto asked. I decided if you become genin or not. Be at the training spot by 5 a.m. and don't eat breakfast or you puke. Kakashi said. Training Ground 3. At Training Ground 3 Team 11 were about to start introductions. Sasuke thought, who is this guy? The first, he's so strong. I feel his charka from here, yet he seems to suppressing it. We are going to introduce ourselves. I will go first. Orochimaru said. My name is Orochimaru. My likes are my wife, my son, my grandchildren, snakes and eggs. My dislikes are toads, anything cold, people who abandoned their friends, and people being late. My hobbies are training, reading, and researching new jutsu. My dream is to become Hokage. Orochimaru said. Okay, how about you go first, girl with red hair? Orochimaru said. My name is Namai Uzumaki. My like is my brother. My dislikes are people calling me and my brother a demon and the fourth Hokage. My hobbies are training and more training. My dream is to make people pay for calling me a monster. Namai said. Orochimaru thought, she full of so much anger that not good with her having the darker half of the nine-tailed fox. How about you go next, boy with the sword? Orochimaru said. My name Obito Senju. My likes are my friends, family, ramen, and snakes. My dislikes are people insulting my Gigi, being called snake eyes, and show-offs. My hobbies are training with Gigi with my sword, making jokes, clearing my goggles. My dream is to become Hokage. Obito said. Orochimaru thought, my grandson is a very interesting kid. Now your turn, Pinky. Orochimaru said. My name's Sakura Haruno. My likes are the person I like is looking at Sasuke. My hobbies are still looking at Sasuke. My dream for the future is still staring at Sasuke. My dislike is Berto Uzumaki. Sakura said. Orochimaru thought, this girl is way too much of a fangirl. I need to do something about that. Now your turn, Uchiha. Orochimaru said. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things. I don't really like anything. What I have is not a dream because I will make it a reality. I'm going to restore my clan and destroy a certain someone. Sasuke said very darkly. Then it suddenly got extremely quiet. Orochimaru thought, that kid did just as Sarutobi-sensei said. His heart is full of darkness. I will have to do something to save him from the path he going down. Flashback. Orochimaru, I want you train Sasuke and take him as your student. I afraid he going to go down a very dark path. I was going to have Kakashi train him to help him master his Sharingan. I believe you're the only one who can help him with the darkness in his heart. You're both extremely similar. Sarutobi-sensei said. I see, I will give it my best try, but I don't think you will listen to my advice. Orochimaru said. Flashback over. Okay, well, meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. for your test. What test? Sakura asked. It's a test to see if you really deserve to be called genin. If you fail, you will get sent back to the academy. Orochimaru explained. Oh, that no fun, Gigi. Obito exclaimed. Don't complain, Obito. Orochimaru said. Wait. Sakura shouted. What is it, Sakura? Orochimaru asked. You're his Gigi that he loves to train with? Sakura asked. Sasuke thought. So this guy is Obito grandfather. Yeah, it kind obvious we have the same eyes. Orochimaru said. Sasuke thought, they do have similar eyes. Expect Orochimaru's sensei eyes have a darker angry look to his then Obito. Well, if that all, I will be leaving Mimi here at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Orochimaru said. Team 7 were at the training waiting for Kakashi-sensei to show up. After hours of waiting, Kakashi finally showed up. Ready for your first day. Kakashi said. Hey, you're late. All the genin shouted. A black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way. Kakashi said. Team 7 just stared at Kakashi like he was crazy. Okay, let's get started, I'm going to set the timer. Kakashi said while setting the timer on the clock. Kakashi pulled out 2 bells from his pocket. You just have to get one of these bells from me before noon. If you fail to get one, you tied to those posts. You will have to watch me eat my lunch. Kakashi explained. What? Berto exclaimed. Sato thought. He said to not eat breakfast to make it harder for us. Wait, there 3 of us, how come there only 2 bells? Sato asked. That means one of you will end up tied to a post. So if you're not prepared to kill me, you won't get a bell. So use your shuriken and kunai. Kakashi explained. But isn't that dangerous? Ken asked. Yeah, you couldn't even dodge a eraser. Berto said while laughing. Class clowns are usually the weakest link. You can safely ignore them lowest scores, losers. Kakashi stated. Berto then starts groaning. You will start we I say begin. Kakashi said. Berto then takes a kunai and charges at Kakashi. But Kakashi catches his hand from behind before he can land a hit. Don't be in such a hurry, I didn't say start. Kakashi said. Sato thought, he's so fast I didn't even see him move. Ken thought, this guy is good. You can hit me with the full intent to destroy me. So how can I say this I'm starting to like you? Kakashi said. Berto was just smiling at Kakashi. Get ready and start. Kakashi said. The three genin then disappeared to hide. Ninja must know how to conceal their movements and hide effectively. Kakashi said. Kakashi thought, they can at least do that. They hidden well. Huh? Kakashi said. When he looked up he saw Berto standing in front of him laughing. You and me right now fair and square. Berto exclaimed. Kakashi said confused. Ken thought, fool. You know compared to the others you are a little bit weird. Kakashi said. Oh yeah, the only thing weird is your haircut. Berto said. Berto then running towards Kakashi. While he was running Kakashi put his hand into his bag to pull something out. Berto then stopped running, to see what he was about to pull out. The first shinobi battle technique is taijutsu. Kakashi explained. Taijutsu that hand-to-hand combat. Then while is he pulling out a weapon? Berto was wondering. Kakashi then pulled out an orange book from his bag. What the matter, I thought you wanted to fight me. Kakashi stated. Yeah, but why are you reading that book? Berto asked. Why, well, to find out what happens. Besides, it doesn't matter if I'm reading or not with your weak attacks. Kakashi explained. I'm going to rip you apart. Berto exclaimed, charging at Kakashi. No matter how hard Berto tried to land a hit on Kakashi, he kept on missing because Kakashi was dodging every single attack. Kakashi then vanished and was suddenly behind Berto, with the tiger seal hand sign pointing at Berto butt. Ken thought, is that tiger seal? That use for fire style fire. Sato thought, get out of there Berto before you get destroyed. Kakashi then poked Berto in the butt and sent him flying into the water. 1,000 years of death. Kakashi said. That got to hurt. A snake-like voice said. The genin then turned around to see the same tall pale man from yesterday. Sato thought, what Gigi doing here? Ken thought, what kind of just you was that? Also what Team 11 Chunin sensei doing here? Berto thought, that Chunin he the same one from yesterday who came to get the team my sister on. Sorry to interrupt, continue on with your test. I was just here to give my team the test. I just wait until you're done. Orochimaru said. It okay, we only have a few more hours left Lord Orochimaru. Kakashi said. Kakashi then got back on continuing to read his book. Berto then threw shuriken at Kakashi while getting out of the water, which didn't work at all because caught them with just 2 of his fingers. Berto then claimed out of the water. You know you won't get lunch if you can't get a bell by noon. Kakashi said. I know that. Berto exclaimed. For someone who wants to surpass the Hokage of the village you're very wobbly. Kakashi stated. I know it because you told us not eat breakfast. How I'm supposed to fight Oma empty stomach? Berto said. Sato thought. I barely even ate dinner last night. What a dumb idea. I so hungry don't have much strength left. I have to get those bells no matter what. Berto said. I'm not turning back now, I will get a bell. Berto said with a determined look on his face. Several shadow clones of Berto came from under the water and came charging for Kakashi. So the stories are true, he really can do the shadow clone jutsu. Kakashi said. Orochimaru thought, that kid he not bad. I wonder if his twin sister is just as good. I guess I find out when I give my team their test. Berto continue running at Kakashi with 7 Berto shadow clones. Base on your ability that just you will only last you 1 minute. Kakashi said. One of the clones snuck up behind Kakashi and grabbed his back. Ken thought, not bad, that was a decent technique. Ninja shouldn't let the enemy sneak up them, right sensei? Berto said. I had my clones come from under the water to catch you off guard. Berto said. A diversionary tactic, not bad. Ken said. When Berto went to punch Kakashi he ended up punching himself. Berto kept punching himself until he decided to release it. Turn out Kakashi just used the replacement just Yuso switch place with Berto. Berto saw a bell on the ground and went to grab it thinking Kakashi dropped a bell. He then got caught by a rope and hung upside by a tree. Ken thought, of course it was a trap, idiot. That Chunin doesn't let down his guard even if he just fighting Berto. You have to think before using jutsu, it can be easily used against you. Also, if the bait is obvious, it clearly a trap. A ninja must see through deception, Kakashi explained. I know that, Berto exclaimed. I'm telling you this because you don't understand. Kakashi stated. He not pay attention now, my chance. Ken said. Multiply shadow clone shuriken jutsu. Ken then made several shuriken going flying at Kakashi. They all with straight for Kakashi. No way. Ken, that was so overkilled. Berto exclaimed. After the shuriken hit Kakashi, there was suddenly a poof sound. Turn out he used the substitution just you. It was a substitution, I was too reckless. Better get moving now that he knows my hiding spot. Ken said, frustrated. Sato thought. I better do something, won't get a bell anytime soon. I won't get one on my own, but if I work with Ken, I could possibly get one. Sato then began looking for Ken so they could work together to get the bells from Kakashi sensei. So righty over there, Kakashi said, taking out his book. Sato continued looking for Ken. Then she suddenly saw Kakashi sensei SP. She stopped running so she wouldn't get caught. That was close, I could have almost got caught. Sato said. Oh Sato, boo. Kakashi said. Ah, Sato screamed. Berto cut himself free from the trap and went to steal food, so he could have energy to continue fighting. Kakashi then casted a genjutsu on Sato. That caused her to see multiply ugly toads. Ah, toads, I hate toads. Sato exclaimed. That might have been too much. She going to need to learn to see through genjutsu. Never thought she'd be so afraid of toads. Kakashi said. Ken thought, that scream sounded like Sato. Shinobi battle skill 2 genjutsu. Kakashi said. An illusion, not surprising she got caught in it, she doesn't pay attention. Ken said. Well, that may have worked on her, but it won't work on me. I'm not a weak fool. I'm different from Berto and Sato. Ken stated. Well, we see about that when you get one these bells. Kakashi said. Ken then stared at Kakashi with his hands in a fist. Wind-style wind blades. Then attacked sharp wind that looked like blades from his blades. Kakashi thought. A wind style, just you genin haven't be taught wind style because how much charka it takes. Kakashi avoided the wind blade attack. Ken then ran at Kakashi and used a left leg kick. Kakashi blocked the kick, so Ken tried to land a punch on Kakashi. Before Kakashi could move out of the way, Ken was able to touch one of the bells. I will that you are definitely different from Sato and Berto. Being different not always a good thing, Kakashi stated. Kakashi then suddenly disappeared. Ken started looking around for Kakashi sensei. Then Kakashi grabbed Ken's leg and pulled him under the ground. Shinobi battle skill 3 ninjutsu. Kakashi said. Kakashi then took his book back out and started walking away. Sato then came running in Ken's direction. Sato, Ken shouted. Sato turned around and saw Ken stuck in the ground, so she went ahead and pulled him out. Ken, if we want to get a bell before it's too late, we have worked together, Sato said. Ken thought, I need to strong to if I want to become a stronger shinobi like my parents. Working with a weakling would only hold me back. You can help yourself, I almost got a bell on my own by myself, I don't need any help. Ken exclaimed. Sato thought, that guy is good looking but he's so stuck up sometimes. Which is so ironic since he hates stuck up people. Then bell the rang, meaning it was time up. Berto got tied to the post for trying to eat before time was up. All three genin's stomachs were growling. Oh, our stomachs growling. Well, about this exercise there no need to send you back to the academy, Kakashi said. Yes, Berto exclaimed. What, I didn't even do anything so I haven't passed, Sato said. Then that means we all passed, Berto exclaimed. Yes, you three are all be completely dropped from the ninja, Kakashi said. Quit being a ninja? What do you mean? Berto asked. I know we didn't get a bell, but quit being a ninja really, Berto said. That because you don't act like ninja, you act like little kids, Kakashi said. They got up from the ground and charged at Kakashi. Kakashi then grabbed him from behind his back and pulled down to the ground. Why do you think we're in team of threes? Kakashi asked. We're in team of threes because we are supposed to be able to work as a team, Sato stated. Kakashi thought, so Sato does understand, then why didn't she say anything? Yes, that is the reason why we're in teams. Too late now, you didn't forgo in time, if you did you could have got one of the bells. Kakashi said. If there are 2 bells and there are 3 of us, wouldn't that lead to a huge conflict over the bells? Sato asked. The test set up that way to put you against so you could learn to work past that. Kakashi explained. You can't act like you better than everyone. I thought you hated stuck-up people. You Berto, you try to do everything on your own. Sato, you spent all of time just watching Berto get his butt kicked but went to help Ken. Kakashi stated. The 3 genin looked at Kakashi shocked. You're always in squads during missions. Yeah, it's important for a ninja to have individual skills. Kakashi explained. Sato, kill Berto or Ken dies. Kakashi said. Sato look at Kakashi-sensei like he was crazy. That what could happen while on a mission, that why it's important to work as a team. Every mission is risk-taking. Kakashi said. Kakashi then walked over the memorial stone, talking about how some of his close comrades on this stone. He explained how they were heroes. Berto got excited saying he wanted to be on that stone. Kakashi then explained that special hero called KIA. What is KIA? Berto asked. It means kill in action, they were all killed on a mission. Sato explained. Berto then got a very depressed look on his face. I give you all one last chance. But it will be a lot harder this time. Kakashi said. So now your chance to eat lunch before you try again to get a bell. Since Boruto tried to get food before noon, he not allowed to have any food. If someone lets him eat, you're disqualified, Kakashi said. Ken and Sato started eating their food. While eating, Berto's stomach started growling. So Ken decided to hand his food to Berto to let him eat some. Here, Ken said. Wait, Ken weren't supposed to give any food to Berto. Sato said. We have to work as a team to get the bells. He won't be any use if he hungry. Plus Kakashi isn't even nearby. Ken stated. After a few minutes of hesitation, Sato feed Berto some of her food. Then suddenly Kakashi showed up. There was suddenly a dark cloud above his head, which made the 3 genin very scared. You all disobey me, Kakashi shouted. Sato and Ken only gave me their food because we're a team. Berto said. You all pass. Kakashi said. Yay, the genin exclaimed. All of the other teams did everything I said and failed. You're first the team I ever passed. Kakashi said. It true in the ninja world, those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. Kakashi said. I did it. I'm a ninja. Berto exclaimed. Let's go home, the training ground is yours now, Orochimaru. Kakashi said. Congratulations, you did great, Sato. Orochimaru said. Thanks, Oreo Gigi. Sato said, hugging Orochimaru. Then Sato, Ken, Kakashi left the training ground, leaving Berto tied to the post. I knew this would happen. Berto exclaimed. Berto thought. Well, I just watch my sister test until she done so she can untie me. Okay, now Team 11, it time for you test. I want you try to land a hit me. If you can get a single blow on me, you will be sent back to the academy. Orochimaru said. Obito then came charging at Orochimaru to try land a punch him. Orochimaru then vanished and reappeared behind Obito and kicked him in the back. Obito then got sent flying into a tree. Berto thought, that guy even faster than Kakashi-sensei, wow. Okay, not bad Obito, you used a substitution before smashing into the tree. Orochimaru said. Sasuke thought, hitting him won't be easy. He moves fast and like a snake. Water style. Water gun. Obito then shot a blast of water from his finger at Orochimaru. Turned out that Obito only ended up hitting a snake clone. It was just a clone, even fighting a goof like Obito. He doesn't let down his guard at all. Sasuke said. Come on, don't tell me that Obito that only one going to try and hit me. Orochimaru said. Fire style fireball, just you. Sasuke created a huge fireball and aimed at Orochimaru. Orochimaru dodged the fireball by jumping into the air. Then he attacked Sasuke when a huge gust of wind. Orochimaru then casted a genjutsu on Sakura II. She tried to rescue Sasuke, which caused her see her death. Ah! Sakura screamed. Berto thought, what did he do to Sakura-chan? Sakura, Berto exclaimed. Okay, that genjutsu was probably way too much. But girl, you need to realize that if you just worry about Sasuke that you could end up dead. Orochimaru stated. Water style water blast. Namai then shot 2 blasts of water from her fingers at Orochimaru. Oh, nice try Namai, but you only hit my clone. Orochimaru said. Sasuke then came charging at Orochimaru, talking about he was better than his other team members. He then started talking about how he needs this training so he could get his revenge. After a few hours of fighting, the Genin Orochimaru decided that it was time to end the match. Okay, you 4 pass my test. Orochimaru, but we didn't even hit you, Gigi, so how do we pass? Obito asked. You may have not hit, but you try to land a blow on me as a team. I will admit you 4 need work on your teamwork. You Sasuke spend too much time thinking that you're better than everyone. Namai, you get reckless when you're angry. Obito, you try to do everything on your own like you can do everything on your own. Sakura, you spend time chasing Sasuke. But you gave it your best, try to work together so you all pass. Orochimaru explained. I see you tomorrow for your first mission, and Namai, don't forget to untie your brother before you leave. Orochimaru said. THSTA all for now. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments.